Hello and welcome to round 4 of WOR's Ironman League today. I'm so excited for this, been waiting all week for it. And tonight I have a very special guest with me, Mr. Nathan Richards. Welcome, how are you? Are you looking forward to this?
I certainly am. I mean, I've had a little look at the Ironman League over the past season and 3 rounds, and I've got to say, it's rather interesting. Of course, we have a grid that's predetermined, I think, in championship order or something like that. So it makes it rather interesting. So I can't wait to see what the drivers get up to. And funnily enough, even though I've commentated here for 2.5 years, I've never ever commentated over 100% race. So this is also going to be new territory for myself as well.
Exactly. Well, no qualifying, straight into 100% race. As you said, there is a reverse team championship order. I think that's the correct way to say it. But yeah, let's jump into the standings so far today. So this is round 4. If you're new here, we have some of the best drivers in the world in our professional league and some of Hungarian's top racers in the amateur league. Let's look and see how that's been going so far. So, how has it been going in the esports drivers, Nathan? Why don't you let us know?
Well, it's looking very good at the top, isn't it? Of course, Danny Berejnay and Istvan Pukki both on 48 points, level on points going through into the 4th round, and Jono Otmir, surprisingly, in 3rd. Normally you'd expect to see him near, or at least at the top. He's on 44 points. I noticed Lawrence a little bit further back on 31, followed by Duncan Hofland, round 1 winner on 26, Ishmael Fassi. Then we have Jack West, Thomas Ronhaar, Milan Mayer, and Bench Shaba Konyi. So looking at Thomas Ronhaar's points being on 21, that makes me think he's not been here the whole time, because I think he'd be a lot higher than he is if he was here for every round.
Correct, he has not been, but he's going to have to. We've got a lot of rounds left to go, but let's quickly get through just in case they start this race. So in the amateur guys, we've got Gabor Takacs up in 1st, Balint Elikish in 2nd, Daniel Zenogradsky is my guy in 3rd, Bertolin Savagna 4th, Shabahagen is 5th, Timbo 6th, Gabor Tietik 7th, Leventi Bensi 8th, Gabor Vaya and Norbert Eisner in 9th and 10th place. Going over to the constructors, this is how it's shaping up as well. Remember, each team has a professional driver and an esports driver. We have Aston Martin with 92, Visa Cash at Red Bull with 77, Red Bull Racing in 3rd with 70, Haas only 1 point behind, Mercedes there only 1 point behind as well, Alpine, Williams, Scuderia, Ferrari, Stake and McLaren. Not used to seeing McLaren there. And our lineup, Nathan, let us see who is racing tonight. Shall we? Take us away.
Well, we have 10 Hungarians, of course, in the top 10, starting with Daniel Zenogradsky. And by the way, guys, if I make a mistake, I'm very sorry, because these names are hard for me to pronounce. Then we have Norbert Eisner in 2nd. We have Shaba Hegedus in 3rd. David Vincer in P4. Gabor Vida in P5. Gabor Chechik in P6. David Castillo, I believe that is El Rey Giri in 7th. And we have Timbo 8th, Balint Elikesh 9th, and Bertalan Savagna 10th. And Scott, you can have all the easy names. Go ahead.
Yes, let's love it. In 11th place, Jack West 12th, Thomas Ronhaar, Tom Martinez, Ishmael Fassi in 14th, 15th place, Danny Berejnay, Istvan Pukki, new is the Mercedes driver in 16th, Milan Mayer 17th, Jarno Otmir is back in 18th place. What can he do today? Ben Shabakonya and Joni Tormala in 20th place. We've got some banging names tonight. I'm so looking forward to this. What do you think is going to be? Do you think we're going to get some early carnage, or do you think we're going to hold off for a little bit?
Well, is that confirmed on the screen what track we're racing at yet, or not?
No idea. They've done this to me before,
okay.
and they just changed it last second.
I was going to say, so we got. I was going to say we got 72 laps of Netherlands, but I don't have a clue. I don't think we can even do that, can we? Have we already done Netherlands before?
No, it could definitely be Netherlands.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
few other tracks. That's actually a good point. Let's bring up what tracks it can be tonight. We've had, in the 3 rounds that we've had, we have covered Spain, Austria and Hungary. So we could still have Belgium, Monza, Netherlands, Mexico, China, the 3 American tracks, Canada, and of course Jeddah. Now, if that choice is Netherlands, I think that's quite a good choice. But to be honest, most of the tracks left are quite banging.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, Hungary out of the way early. I mean, I know this is a Hungarian league, but it's not the most entertaining when it comes to on-track action. So
Yes.
the Hungarians in the chat, please don't hate me, because I still love the circuit. It's the F1 cars fault being so big. But, you know, the likes of Las Vegas, carnage. Jeddah always brings carnage. Of course, the Netherlands also quite an interesting one, because the track is, you know, give it a couple of laps and the cars tend to spread out, so we get those little trains forming. So, you know, we've got some interesting tracks that could definitely come up tonight. And once we find out where we are, then we can actually judge what's going to happen. I mean, it looks like it will be the Netherlands because we
yeah.
are loading in shortly. So 72 laps of the Dutch Grand Prix is going to be rather, well, chaotic, I think is one word.
Okay, so Tom 97's here as well? When did he get in?
Yes. That's Tom Martinez, the guy you read out in 13th place.
Oh, I'd learn something new every day. Duncan Hoffman!
Yeah, I was going to say, you forgot to mention Duncan. He's not Yanni.
Okay, I'm sorry. There's just been a lot going on today. Right, okay, bang, alright, Duncan Hoffman and such good Tom 97, such a great driver as well in the Creator Series and others. Although, has been known to bottle it. I don't know if he's going to bottle it tonight or whatnot. He's one of those people you always think he's one of the fastest guys on track and he bottles it. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, everyone's loading into Netherlands. I love Netherlands. Look, turn 1, 2, 3, 4, like, it can just be chaos, like, these first couple of laps. And if a safety car comes, it might breed another one on. Like, oh, this could be good.
It could. I mean, it also shows the driver's skill, because around this track, the DRS zone, especially down towards the chicane at turn 11, doesn't really do much. The one down to turn 1 does, but apart from that, there's no other real opportunities to overtake. So, and it's going to be wet. Well, that makes it 10 times more chaotic. I mean, remember, was it 2023, Zandvoort, when it started wet and Joe Gotti was in 3rd after 2 laps?
Okay. This is going to be back, right? This is great. I love this because it means we're definitely going to get dry weather at some point. I would be very, very alarmed if it was wet the whole time. I'm going to leave everything on the screen here because we have no qualifying. This is one of the great things about Ironman. We just go straight into this 100% race where the drivers don't know what track it is. So it just kind of breeds that insecurity for the first lap. You're going to have some people playing a bit more cautious, and then you're going to have someone just absolutely send it down the middle, get an overtake of like 3 cars or something, and then just cause carnage. 2 people are going to spin. 1 guy's going to rage quit within the first 5 laps. I am ready for this, Nathan.
It's going to be good. Who do you going to go with the win? Who do you think will win it today?
Like, honestly, it's got to be either Jarno, Ottmeier, Berezny, or Hofland. We had like Hofland and Ottmeier, they were so close in round 1. It was like 0.004 of a second at Austria, as far as I remember. Yeah. Just absolutely incredible. It's kind of hard to see, but like Ismail Fassi, he was up there last week. He could easily got the win. Oh, here we go. We're starting straight in with the 5 red lights. We have Zena Gratsky, my guy, in first. Let's make sure he gets off to a good start. Let's look on Shabba Hagerty's point of view. Stays in 3rd place. Going into turn 1, everyone looking quite neat. Ulrich Guri gets an overtrack. One of the Alpines is off. That's Vaya Gabor all the way to the back. Now, as you can see, all of the cars go 2 wide. A couple of people trying 3. Timbo doing well in 8th as well, but already at the back, we have some of these pros getting up there. Jack West already into 9th.
Of course, and we can see there Thomas Ronhaar, and that will be Tom 97 having their little battle with Ismail Fassi, as well as we head our way up the roller coaster section in towards turn number 7. And the issue with it being wet on the first lap is half of these drivers never practice the wet. As we go 3 wide in towards turn number 8, that'll be Jack West and Timbo getting involved, and we've got Bersalan Savaglia ahead. But yeah, it's great, isn't it? You know, wet weather, the drivers have had no practice whatsoever, so they're going into this pretty much blind. As we're on board here with Thomas Ronhaar, the man who I think will take the victory here tonight, goes up the inside of Jack West, and we know these two have had their own little history in the past. And then further back, we can see Timbo having to defend off Brezhnev and Fassi in towards the chicane. They're going to go 3 wide, and the Rebel has to defend. Maybe a little bit like Verstappen's driver we need to see here from Timbo to keep some of these behind.
Yeah, definitely doing his best, but it's very hard when you have some of the best drivers in the world behind you. Danny Berezny in 14th as well. He's got Jarno right behind him. Duncan been able to get in front of a few drivers. He is up 7 spots in 1 lap. Duncan Hoffland with a masterclass so far. Let's see what's happening a bit up the front. Zena Gratsky into lap 2, still in the lead. Sometimes you're going to see a lot of these drivers go down to the back. Jack West, though, already making the charge, fighting for the top 7. Oh, nearly just enough space as the Aston Martin goes right off the track. Rejoins sensibly. Jack West fighting the gap. And it's bang! That was bang, no!
Oh my! And he's out of the race.
That's him.
What a start! That's going to be a safety, no safety car. That's odd, but yeah. VSC, Jack West out of the race. Thomas Ronhaar with a 10-second penalty for getting into a collision. I think it was with Savaglia who's dropped down to P14. Jack West has left. That means I can join.
Yes, it does. That is incredible scenes for lap 2. I didn't see anything crazy there. That felt like there was just not enough space for it. Oh, as El Riguni gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. And David Vinci, he's seen some really talented drivers making some quite amateur mistakes, you would say.
Certainly, but I mean, it's been an eye-opener. It's woken me up, that's for sure. I was quite tired before this, but obviously the car DNF for lap 2 and McLaren fly in the air. Yes, it's certainly... Oh, and we've got another car as well with a drive-through. I'm looking on the stream at the same time, and it's a little bit delayed, but... Yeah, so we've got 2 cars with a drive-through, a car with a 10-second penalty, but I do believe that can be served in the pits, can't it, for Ron Haas? So... You know, we've got 70 laps to go. It's not too harmful that he's got to serve a 10-second penalty, but he did drop down about 4 positions there, so I'm not sure what's happened to the kit car.
Yeah, no, that was quite mad as well, as we had Gab losing his car as well, spinning out. Duncan Hoffman already up to 6th place with Ismail Fassi behind him. Quite mad scenes, to be honest, for Jack West. He was on for such a great start, but he's going to have to... Look at that. Within 3 laps, Duncan Hoffman's went up 14 spots. What is that?
That is just mental, isn't it? You know, I think it's proud to say that Duncan Hoffman is possibly one of the best, if not the best, wet weather driver. I mean, you know, there's many cars that have also made up a lot of positions, but he started at the back of the grid. 20th, he's now in P6 after 3 laps of racing, as we can see Tom Martinez there, and it's Pookie going to battle the Ferrari versus the Alpine down towards the chicane, and Pookie's going to try and find the move, but can't quite close it, but he's going to go for it, isn't he? In towards the chicane. Sends Martinez a little bit deep as we head our way through, and now Milan Mayer's going to look to try and make a move in the Haas. And I've got to say, I haven't seen Milan Mayer once on this game, so I'm quite glad to see him back racing. Back on F122, I commentated on him all the time, but I haven't seen him that recent, so it's nice to see Milan Mayer back in the driving seat.
Yeah, he's definitely shown signs this season. He's got amazing pace, but one thing or another's maybe not went for him. Definitely could see better from him as well. But hey, best of luck to him. David Vinci coming into the pits, as far as I'm aware, to get rid of that penalty. Zenegratsky, he's my guy. He's still in first, but he's found Pukki thinking about the inside line, but no, not enough space there. It's a difficult track. You need to really pick your moment. This let's almost call it a straight, right? It's got a lot of corners, this bit, but it is essentially one of the sort of straights. Very hard to get by, though. It's easy to get on the grass, and the moment you get on the grass, you are heading straight into the sand, the barrier. We've seen it, you know, Perez in real life. We've seen it in this game countless times as well. So easy to lose it. Jarno up to 8th.
Of course, and I'm trying to get in the lobby. I can join through Thomas, so I'll be able to get myself in and see what's going on. As we can see, Balintelekesh, of course, battling there with Duncan Hoffland in P4 as they head their way down to the chicane. And you see it'll be Timbo there as well, having a battle with Savannah. But back to the Aston Martin near the front, has got the move ahead of Balintelekesh, and now Danny Brezhnev is going to try and follow through and make his way into the top 5. Of course, both of those two, the Mercedes and the Aston Martin, having a very good start, and now looking to try and fight at the front. But the gaps are increasing at the front. Of course, 2.6 from Hoffland to Hegedus, and then another 3 up to Eisner, and of course, Shenegratsky at the front of the field, as Tom Martinez there having a battle with Milan Mayer. In towards turn number 1, trying to make the move, has to go around the outside. Can he keep that position of 12th as they head their way into turn 2? Yes, he can. A brilliant move, or a brilliant defence there from Tom 97.
Yeah, and as you can see on the driver's POV, it stopped raining as far as I can tell. So I think we're going to have maybe 2 or 3 laps before we get back. Jarno Opmeer getting a move done before going into this right-hander. That was great. Up to 7th. Phelan Elikus, not really much you can do, but still hanging right behind. Obviously, if you make a single mistake here, you can lose a lot of time. But Jarno, 7th. Ishmael Fassi in front of him in 6th, though. Danny, Duncan, all the way up. But Zenegratsky and Eisner, incredible start for them. 3 seconds off everyone else.
Of course, and they've got to think about pitting soon because the track is dry. Looking down at the chicane in turns 11 and 12, the Hans Ernst chicane, it is pretty much bone dry. So you're going to see the cars thinking about making their pit stops as soon as possible. Of course, those at the front of their field in terms of their cars, so like Duncan, Danny, Isma, they're in a very good position because they're the first to pit in their respective cars. As we can see, the fastest laps go through. No, the cars stay out, so it's not dry enough, they don't think yet, to make a pit stop onto a set of the drier compounded tyres. And then the question is, do they go soft, medium or hard? Because in a 50% race, you'll be going hard tyres to the end, but there's a lot more laps to go than than another 20 or so. So they've got to think about what the best strategy is here. Do they go in the harder tyre? Do they go in the medium? Or do they go for a soft tyre to go for a quick burst to try and move up the field and then pit again?
Oh, I'm just watching Tom97. He nearly got through there, to be fair. That'd have been great. We got up in front, a bit more fighting as well. It's getting a little bit spicy. DRS enabled, so you'll be seeing everyone go in now. Now, going back to what you're saying about tyre-wise, I feel like the hards in this game can just go on and on and on. As we have El Riguri getting the move done on David Vinci, we've seen him Creator Series champion this year, but in 17th place. That's as much as I love all the guys over at the Creator Series, this is a next step up. This is some of the top professionals in the world. Do you know what I mean? And yep. Yes, content creators are fast, and they should be really happy with their speed. But you know, this is your chance to move it and shake it and put your mark down. I've said this every week. See, for the professionals, they've got everything to lose in this race. But see, the guys that are not, they've got everything to win. As you can see, everyone's basically coming into pit now, except one person.
Oh, Yana Watmere and Istvan Pukki stay out. Oh, and Timo gets a... Oh, and there's contact with about 4 cars heading into the pits. Timo gets a penalty, and we have hards and mediums being strapped onto the different cars. Of course, Tom Stronhar pitted earlier on because he's a minute and 6 seconds back. How is he that far back?
What?
Did he serve his Oh, he must have served his penalty and got in again, I think, because he's really far back. So he served his penalty, then went back in again, I think, to go again, because he's a minute and 7 seconds behind. So I'm not sure how that has came around. But at the moment, the net race leader is still Shenegratsky in 4th place, of course, in that net race lead, as he looks to make a move ahead. Voida in towards turn number 8 and gets a move done ahead of the Alpine.
Yeah, you're right. So Ronhar's been lapped by Jarno. So he's going to have to figure that out. I guess Jarno will come into the pits and that will be the end of it. But Zenegratsky, he is the net race leader at this moment in time. You will probably see Jarno, Istvan, and Vajagabor all come in at the end of this lap, start of lap 8.
Oh!
He's ignoring blue flags. When was the last time you seen a penalty that looks like that? Oh, is we having yellow flag down at the back? That might have been him moving away, actually, and making sure he doesn't get another penalty. Interesting stuff.
I've never seen a penalty for ignoring a blue flag. Never.
Yeah. Strange.
So, it's an interesting one, but of course, Jarno Watmere goes on to a set of the hards. Istvan Pukki also goes on to a set of the hards, and Voda Gabor will probably go into a set of hards or mediums, as El Riguri goes on to a set of the soft tyres. A bit of a different one there for the Haas of El Riguri, but we'll see how he gets along with that. But of course, at the front there, we can see Showa Hegadus and FGE Isna having their little battle for 2nd place, and we can see the Ferrari really catching up here on the back of the Kicksake F1 car as we head into turn number 7.
Definitely right behind him. This is such a complicated bit. It's easy enough to do this sector, but I guess it is, you set a couple of centimetres wide. Oh, as you can see, a lot of spray there. I think that was maybe just one of the game features. But Balan Elikas into 6th place as well, fighting with Ishmael Fassi as well. None of them wanting to let it go. It looks like Fassi will get it done around the outside. Made that look surprisingly easy. I don't know how you get so much traction off there, but that was, there you go, bye-bye, into 6th place for Elikas. Ronhar with the fastest lap now. I guess that's all he can do, because he's lapped. Ooh, there you go, getting spicy.
Yeah, Miller Mayer there, looking for a move on Timbo, but ends up losing 2, or possibly 2, in towards Aaron Leyendijk, but only loses the 1 position. That'll be to Savannah, who goes really deep and allows Miller Mayer to go back up the inside, heading out of the final corner, up towards turn number 1 we go, and there's no DRS at all for Miller Mayer, and that will be Ben Shabakonya making 3 moves into 1 corner. What a send there from Ben Shabakonya on the medium tyres in the RB. Looks to make 3 moves, and he makes it into 1 corner. Reminds me of Daniel Ricciardo back at Baku, I think was it 2017, when he made that 3-wide move into turn 1.
Yeah, that was great. That's what we want to see. Very nice. Duncan Hoffman fighting for 4th as well. Look how close it is, and Eisner nearly goes and actually does keep it. Breaks one of the breakboards, loses a couple of spots, come back in. Getting very, very adventurous around here now because it's drying up and this is just sheer pace time. Look at the tyres again. We get the front 2 mediums, we get 3rd and 4th in the hards. It's kind of split, more mediums so than hards, but still. And again, just to point in the fact that Duncan Hoffman is up 17 spots, but Resney up 11.
Of course, did a brilliant job so far are those, of course, who started near the back of the field. Of course, Duncan Hoffman started down in 20th place, as we see Ishmael Fassi here looking for a move ahead of Eisner to get himself up into 6th place, and also Elikesh there looking to make a move ahead of Danny Berejnay around the outside into turn number 1, but goes really deep and will certainly not make the move there as we head our way up to turn number 2, and Berejnay still holds that 4th position for the back, of course. Eisner there being overtaken by Ishmael Fassi. And also Tom 97 went on to a set of the soft tyres. I think he went into the pits again, didn't he?
We're seeing some incredible strategies here. I don't know how this is going to work. We probably need a safety car at some point, maybe just to reset some of these people. But if you're Thomas Ronhart, like, that's really rough. Like, where is he on the track? Has he been there? Who's in first place? Yeah, so he has been able to unlap himself, but he's now just got that sort of job of just having to catch up to the lap ahead, which without DRS, I don't really care how fast you are. I don't think you're going to do that.
No, you certainly not. It's going to be a long ride here for Thomas Ronhart, of course. 62 laps to go in this Grand Prix. It's going to be a boring one unless we get that safety car for him. If he early pits again. So no, and he's retired from the session. So that is Thomas Ronhart done. He said, yeah, that's it. No, thank you.
Well, I said 5 laps, someone would rage quit, but it was actually lap 10. We're going to see his car maybe come back out as well. That caused some carnage in one of the races because, very, very close and villain there. And the Mercedes of Beretta getting pushed to the edge, but he's like, no, mate, you give me that space. We have a yellow flag. That is Ronhart's car coming out. Look at Beretta getting on that inside. A little bit of touch in there. Hopefully no damage. Keeps 4th place. But yes, I think a little bit of carnage happened there with Ronhart's car coming back out.
Yeah, it came out, but I don't think anyone got caught up in that, luckily. It's Ishmael Fassi now looking to make a move ahead of Balint in towards turn 8 and nearly loses the car, trying to make that move. Will have to go for it again, heading possibly to turn number 10, has to go to the inside, just send it on the RB, and Balint there goes a little bit deep, but of course has a better traction on the exit, and manages to pull ahead and keep in that 5th place just for now as we head our way down towards turn 11. But Chernigratski has got brilliant pace at the moment, has got a 4.5 second lead. And, you know, you said earlier, this is your man, and he's doing a good job at the moment with such a good lead.
I am absolutely buzzing. This is my guy. I've rooted for him because I love saying his name. It just tickles me as having to say Chernigratski. And he has always shown great pace, but he has definitely been a merchant for penalties. As Duncan Hoffman gets into 2nd, in front of Shabahaga, is also doing incredibly well. Should be proud to be in front of these guys for 12 laps. But now he's got to just keep on pushing Chernigratski, getting no penalties, and get a good finish. Because, as I said earlier, anything can happen. If you can do great work in a lobby like this, then why wouldn't one of these teams want you, right?
Well, we'll get back to that in a second, because Yoda Uppbeat just got around the outside in towards turn number 7 and goes deep. Oh my, what a move there from Yoda Uppbeat. But as you were saying, yeah, of course, you know, if you can be in the top 10 in such a brilliant grid, of course, all with esports drivers, you definitely deserve to, you know, to be able to race at the top, or at least have a chance to race at the top in the future. Of course, we need these drivers driving the Hungarian League, I believe. So, you know, they've got decent pace to be where they are at the moment as we head our way down towards turn number 11 and 12 with the leaders. As that gap, though, between Hoffman and Chernigratski has increased. It's 4.7, it was 4.4. So a brilliant job so far by the McLaren, as we can see Hegedus now on the back of Duncan Hoffman down to turn 1, burning the battery, using that DRS, looking to make a move into 2nd place. And can he get the move done? Yes, he can, but backs out as we head into turn 1. I think was a little bit self-conscious about that one as he gets into 2nd place. And now Danny Berejnay looking to move up into 3rd.
Yeah, there's a nice little train going on here. As you can see, about 5 drivers. Going to be soon that Jarno's at the back of that as well. And very interesting to see. But yeah, Chernigratski's doing incredible well, but the tyre difference will play in for at least, I would say, 4 or 5 more laps before the hards start to slowly just kind of become the superior tyre over the next 30 laps or whatnot. We've seen these hards go for ages in this game. Like, they could genuinely finish. They've done their pit stop. They could finish. They wouldn't be great, but they could do that. I got a funny feeling though we might actually see another stop come in. It's Netherlands, there's a couple of DRS zones. I think they will be able to make it back up over the time distance needed. So hards to mediums maybe. We don't really ever see the softs getting used too much.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see that many softs unless, of course, we get to like lap 65 and a safety car comes out. That's, of course, when the soft tyres will be used. But until then, I don't reckon we'll see many of the soft comprehensive tyres, as we see Danny Bergevin there looking to close into Duncan Hoffland to make a move into turn number 1. Burns a little bit of battery, but doesn't use all of it. As we can see, Hoffland close right up to the back of Shabat in towards turn number 1 and still help Gratsky pull that lead at the front to nearly 5 seconds now as we head our way into turn 2 and 3. This is perfect for the McLaren, as we can see. I'm just on board with Bergevin now, and it's like they have to lift off so early. When you watch the likes of WRT1 and PSGL, they can just go flat out and just slow down and get back on the pace instantly. But here, they're having to lift so much, and they can't really put the foot down normally like they would.
Yeah, exactly, and it's all about tyre wear as well. You need to make your tyres last, because the moment you get past that sort of percentage of wear, you're going to lose a lot. A little bit alternative lines here from Ishmael Fassi. Will it work? Look, he's got more exit speed. Thinking maybe making a move. Takes a look, but I think he's going to just stay behind for now. No point risking it. But you know what? Let's look at the batteries. This is one of the features I like to do. So you can see Zenegatsky's just below halfway there on his wheel. We have Shaba Hegedus, he's got a good part as well, over half. Duncan Hoffland half as we're just over, looking well, looking to be making a move on Hegedus. They need to be swapping DRS if they want to catch up with Zenegatsky right now. It's quite. Oh, look, it's getting a bit tight here.
Oh my, 3 wide into turn 1, and they need to make it 4 wide. Ishmael Fassi thought, you know what, I'll have a go. But I mean, you know, you're here for a bit of fun. It's nothing too serious. Why not?
Oh, going around the outside as well. Does he make that done? No, he's demanding the space. He wants through, and he's gonna get it done. Fair play. You just have to like put your elbows out. Ow, wow, love it.
What a move there from Ishmael Fassi. I mean, many drivers have made moves like that into this corner, but that's what makes this track so great. Because of how hard it is to overtake, you've really got to, you know, send it, get your elbows out, and it always makes a great overtaking move indeed, as that's going to be Elekesh there, looking to make a move ahead of Shaba as we head our way out of turn number 10, down to the chicane, and you can see a little bit of tyre hooking there from Elekesh, looking to try and hold the Ferrari back, goes around the outside, but of course there you can see the Ferrari going a little bit deep, trying to defend that move, and still the RB looking to make that move work. It's going to have to go around the outside into Ari Lindike at the final corner and can't get that move done, and he gets forced onto the curb as we head our way out. And Nebiano Otmir looking to find a way through, has to go to the inside, makes a move ahead of Shaba Hegedus as we head our way down to turn 1, and Yano Otmir now enters the battle.
Definitely, Danny Berezny gets into second place as well, overtaking Duncan Hoffland. A lot of stuff to try and keep up with there, as you can see. But yeah, great moves from Yarno. People just fighting a little bit. Elikish is nearly out of the DRS. He's been able to keep it, but it is definitely a sign of you don't want to lose out on this train. But Zenegratsky is getting even further away. He has no DRS. He's over 5.3 seconds now. This is actually banging. If Berezny, Hoffland, and Fassi just keep fighting and there's no safety car, like, he could have such a good leads going on to that final pit stop.
He could, and I mean, if I was him, you know, I could win against some of the best drivers in this game. There's no safety car, they catch up. If I was him, I'd just move over to the right and put them into the wall.
Yes, man.
I mean, you might get a penalty, but you win on track, don't you? So, you know.
Exactly. Like, in the bin, as you would say. Like, yes, mate. Okay, Yarno doing Yarno things, though. He definitely always gets up there, but he's maybe sometimes a bit slower than some of the others, some of the more flashy ones. Sometimes, you know, Jack West gets up 12 spots in 4 laps, 9 DNFs. Yarno's been taking his time. He's up a load of positions as well as Duncan Hoffland. Okay, this is it. You see them. They're starting to now switch that DRS every lap, deciding that they don't need to fight, and already getting a little tiny bit closer to Zenegratsky. It's only a few tenths, but every little helps.
Of course, and, well, that's what Tesco would say anyway. As we see Yarno Otmir trying to close in on the back of Elekesh down towards turn number 7, and further back, Shabat still right. Even though I've lost 5 positions in 2 laps, I'm not gonna, you know, we're not gonna drive away. I'm not gonna leave them to it. I'm gonna try and stick right with them and try and still find those opportunities to make overtakes in towards some of these braking zones as we head our way through to turn number 9 and 10. Of course, in Dutch it's box 9 and box 10 are those 2 corners, but I don't speak Dutch, so I try not to say those names as I get them terribly wrong. As Yarno, he's looking hungry though, isn't he, on the back of Elekesh here, but he just can't. I don't think he's bothered at this point. I think he knows he's got the pace to, so there's no point risking it and possibly costing your race. I mean, we saw what happened to Jack West. That happened in the split of a second. Yarno Otmir, you know, on his he's been here at Red Bull 2 weeks-ish. He doesn't want to be out of the race saying, yeah, it's my own fault for sending a stupid move. It'd look bad, wouldn't it?
Exactly. It's nearly 3 wides going into turn 1. Wait, we're fighting a little bit here. We're going to be slowing each other down, and that's going to let people behind Yarno catch up as well. But to be honest, he might not have too much to worry about. Jabba and but he's Van Pookie in 8th, getting ever so close. So you don't want him behind you, no matter who you are, because he's going to push you to the max. 5.2 seconds, 5.3. That's let Zenegradsky get a little bit further away. He's just in a race of his own. It's actually amazing to see. But do you know who's also benefiting? Jab Hagedis in this train. This really suits him. He's right at the back. He's one of the amateur drivers. If he can just stay onto the train, he's going to get a really good result here.
I mean, Zenegradsky is just in a orange Ferrari, isn't he? I mean, Charles Leclerc did it, didn't he? I know the tyres aren't stupidly old and they're not on the brink of punctures, but it's close enough. You know, he's got older tyres, technically, because the mediums will be more wear than the hards at this point, and he's just trying to pull away, and actually, the gap's 5.7 seconds. It was 5.1. You know, he's actually cooking here at the moment. You know, we're lap 18 in, but knowing his luck, he'll get the Lewis Hamilton look and end up having a safety car and losing the position. But that will be Ishmael Faster there making a move ahead of Bergenet. But then Duggan Hoffman will look to follow through and make a move ahead of Bergenet as well down into turn number 1. And will Alekesh go for it? No, he's a little bit further back for now. But Hoffman, he goes a bit deep and has a bit of tyre hook in there with Danny Bergenet as we head our way through into turn number 2. Can Bergenet find that move again? No, he sits back in 4th position. But that has brought all those cars further behind, really close. And even though Eisner now, we're Eisner in P9 looking to close, as that's going to be Hegedus there, losing the rear, heading out of turn 3.
Yeah, definitely. It's starting, as you can see in this train, it goes all the way to about 10th place when you've got Ben Shabakoni. He's a few seconds back there. But yeah, very interesting to say the least. Even with that DRS advantage, I was looking at the time to Zenegradsky, only gained about 2 or 3 tenths. It's not the longest straight. That all the way down to turn 1. It's long, but it's not, it's not out of this world long. So like, if he can just do his own race, just don't bottle it, mate. Do not bottle it. Then he's gonna absolutely kill this, because like medium 12 laps. How long are they going for, you think? You could see them go all the way into the 30s, like, easily. He could be medium, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. I mean, I'd like to think I know, but I'm not Hannah Schmitz and I don't have a clue about 100% strategy, so I'll just nod and agree, but I don't have any clue. But I would presume that the mediums, we could go for a medium here. The hards possibly could go to the end, but I don't know if it's worth taking them that whole way. Of course, eventually he'll get to that puncture range, as Yarno there makes a brilliant move ahead of Balint Alekesh to make himself up into P5, but Balint's going to fight it back, and they're going to go side by side up in towards turn 4, 5, 6, and 7, and no move can be made there by Alekesh. Has to concede that position to Yarno Opmi, and now Yarno's entered the scene. He's passed one of the medium runners. He's got Bergenet, his old teammate. He's got Hoffland and Fassi ahead of him. Do you think maybe he's the one to try and make them push a little bit further forward now and catch up to the back of Zenegradsky? That's going to be someone making a mistake, but no one's made a mistake. That's a bit weird.
It was Jabba Hagedis went off into the sands. Just caught him there. He's now lost that train. So sad to see it from him, but he was doing very well. We'll have to just hope that he can get back into it. Just a little easily done mistake. As we have a battle of the careers down at the bottom, we have Tom97 getting in front of David Vince as well. He's doing well, but he's definitely would have wanted to see a better race than this. Going on to El Riguri as well into 12th place. A little bit off the pace. Needs a safety car to come his way.
Of course, as we head our way into turn 9, I'm going to go back on board with Istvan Pukki here as he's looking to make a move into turn 1 ahead. Balint Alekesh and has to try and hang it around the outside, but can't do so. But guys, of course, if you're here on the WR YouTube channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can get all of the action here for the Ironman League. I mean, Scott will know when we're back next, and I believe it'll be next Thursday, won't it?
Yes, every week we're coming to you Thursday, 7:15 PM BST, to provide just one of the coolest races of the league world that I think it is. It's just a bit different than the usual standard, and the no qualifying aspect, just throwing these amazing drivers to the back of the grid and seeing how far they can come up. That's not something that happens every week. Oh wait, it is, because we're doing it every week.
Oh, I mean, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Sorry.
Yeah, it was very cringe, but it's fine. We'll move on with it. You're a creator. Aren't creators all cringy?
Yes, we are. Right. Lap 21, man. We've not had a safety car yet. I'm a bit concerned about the safety car, because I would have said there should have been one in lap 1. It didn't come, so it sometimes can be a sort of indication that it's going to take a lot. Oh, he's squeezing him there, isn't he? Gets the move done before turn 1 though, and he's just going to have to swap it back next lap. This is what's happening, you know. It's just a DRS train at this moment. We're going to need some spice, but we're going to have to wait for it.
Of course, and of course, Shinigratsky seems to have a bit of a reputation for penalties.
Yes.
He's got none at the moment after 22 laps. He's leading by 4.6 seconds, so I think he needs some appreciation in the chat, guys. Show some appreciation here for, is it Daniel, isn't it? Daniel Shinigratsky.
Yep.
So show some appreciation, guys, because he's doing a brilliant job so far. And the guys who are these sports drivers, Ishmael, Duncan, Danny, Jarno, Istvan, can't really catch up that quick to him. I mean, they're bringing the gap in now, but of course, give it a bit of time. And the mediums die off quickly, don't they? They hit that drop off and boom, gone. There's no bringing them back.
Yeah, but he's definitely going to want to keep them going at least another sort of 10, 15, 20 laps maybe, if he wants to be able to go into another set of mediums. Otherwise, he may have to commit to the hards, which again, won't be that bad a shout. They will come into sort of a prime age near the end of the race. If you did go maybe lap 40 and you had done like sort of 30 odd laps on them, it's going to be interesting. We need to see how long people go for, because we're 16 laps in from when the oldest tires are. We've Istvan, Pukki and Jarno, they came in a lap earlier, but it's not going to make too much difference as we have a nice fight going on actually for Milan Maya and Jabba Higidus.
Ooh, as El Rey gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is certainly not what El Rey would have liked, as of course, yeah, we do see the battle there with Milan Maya and Jabba Higidus heading out of turn 3 down towards turn 5, 6 and 7. Of course, looking at the front, though, that gap's actually flew down on this lap, so I think the mediums really have hit a bit of a drop-off point, because we can see as well, those on the mediums, such as Easner, he's lost out, he's 1.2 seconds back, and Ben Shabakonyi is also losing a little bit of time, so I think the mediums are starting to hit their drop-off point. But then again, give it 4 or 5 laps, the hards will be hitting their drop-off points, so we're not too far away before the drivers are just trying to hold on to any grip they can have, as that's going to... Ooh! Easton's made a mistake. He's lost a few seconds, and Shamakonyi's got up into P8 now, ahead of the kit car, and Milan Maya looking to make a move and get himself up into that top 9. But I've got to say, definitely surprised here by Tom Martinez, or Tom 97, as he's down in 16th, and normally he's very quick. I know he operates over in WR Tier 2, so I'm surprised to see him so far down.
Yeah, definitely, but do you know what? It's like even the best of drivers can go into the pit lane too fast, or they can just put their foot down a little bit too fast. It's easily done. This will be this is his first time I've seen him in here with some of these names, so it's just going to be a sort of like, you know, this is it. Get your elbows out now. Pray that there's a safety car, that you get another chance and don't make the same mistakes again. And Milan Meyer trying to fight with Eisner, but decides maybe not to go for the move yet. Definitely we're seeing the mediums fall off. You're completely right, which shows that medium strat's probably not going to be the way to go. He's going to have to go into the hards in Gratsky, and maybe the hard guys did get the correct strategy. We'll have to wait a bit later, but I'm starting to feel like going on to those hards to finish off with mediums. Oof, nearly loses at Milan Meyer. Might have been the move.
Yeah, of course, I think, yeah, hard medium could definitely be the way to go. Then again, that means all of those that go into set the hards, they've got an even bigger job to do towards the end, of course, when those on the brand new mediums will come charging through towards the end of the race. Of course, you'll also have less fuel as well, which is definitely a big game changer. Of course, you have lots going on to the first lap and hardly any going on to the final couple of laps. So we have some possible moves here into turn 1. Bereshne on Hoffman there, looking to go around the outside. They go side by side. Hoffman moves out of the way to try and cover off the move, but nothing can be made there. And now Jarno Opmi in the Red Bull going around the outside of his Mercedes ex-teammate, and can't quite find the move either. So the drivers are looking to make moves, but none of them can make it work unless around the outside from Jarno Opmi tries to make it work. Bereshne is going to hold it in as we head into turn 7. Can Jarno make that move? It's going to be close into turn 8, and I think Jarno's got it. What a move there from Jarno Opmi. And now it's Van Pookie looking to make a move ahead of Bereshne.
Yep, sends it in the inside. Danny doing nothing wrong, but just got a little bit slowed down because of that little fight. But, to be fair, kept it going. Got a great exit there. That is the type of racing I want to see. That's the type of racing that can give us some of the best moves in the world, or a safety car. You know what I mean? That's the sort of thing that we're gonna see getting on a little bit, especially with the hard guys coming a bit more into it. As you can see, it's 2.9 seconds from first to second now. That was about 5.8 at its worst. Is Zenigratsky going to go in? No, he is staying out. He's committing to more laps, and to be fair, he kind of has to. Only 19 laps. You would say from mediums you want a bit more than that.
of course, and I think the play here by Shinigratsky will be wait until those on the hards really get up on your tail, you know, when they're in a few tenths, and then go into the pits. You know, you want to say it as long as you can to, of course, give yourself the longevity on the new hard tyres that you'll go on to, or possibly the new mediums, depending what Shinigratsky goes to do. So you'll see what happens there. Is that's going to be Istvan Pukki making the move up the inside of Barricade to turn 7. I mean, it's one of the most difficult corners on a solo lap, and for some reason, it's been given the corner on the track where the most moves are happening. It's countless how many moves have happened into turn 7 today.
That's great. That's what I want to see. Just sending it there because I love it. Yes, you're going to get fought all the way, but most of the time you're going to be given that space, which means anything's possible. It means you get to see just how committed you can actually keep too wide on some of these tracks, especially in the Netherlands. It's a very tight technical track, but one we all love. Like, usually when you're watching the Netherlands race, you're going to get some good action along the way. Look at that gap though to Zenigratsky. He's coming in. That's it.
Is he in? Oh, and let's hope he doesn't get a penalty. He does a brilliant there from Shinigratsky. Goes into the pit lane and now will exit probably around, I think might come out just ahead of Bertel and Savagna or ahead of Timbo. We'll see, of course, whether McLaren exits the pit lane. But that now gives these esports drivers at the front, the 5 on the hards, and also Balint Elekesh, the opportunity now to push forward and try and extend that gap to Bent Shamakonyi and all those behind, and of course try and make it so they can limit any sort of time loss they'll get from Shinigratsky having those brand new hard competitive tyres, as that will be Elray Geary getting the fastest lap there at 1:11.738, of course, down in P14 with the penalty. So still not ideal. You know, it's not gone well at all. But then again, Tom Martinez hasn't done the best in this race. So maybe the Creator Series drivers are just having a little bit of bad luck, as that will be... Ooh, that'll be Gabo.
Yeah, Sony via Gabor. Is that going to be safety car? No, it looks like he's on his way now, but definitely some sort of issue and definite damage on the front wing as well. It's not what he wants to see, but Jarno Opmeer, 0.1 seconds behind, is going to make a move. As far as I'm aware, this will be the... Oh no, he's defending it. Hoffland goes around the outside. Jarno's going to cut in on the inside. Can he get the move done? It's going to be wheel to wheel going into turn 2 and 3. He's not giving up. No one's giving up. They're going to go around the outside. Duncan Hoffland has to slow down a little because of the car in front. Will you get the traction of Jarno into second place? Might even be making a move for first. Oh my, that was a great watch.
He's got to go for it, isn't he, to turn 7? No, he was thinking about it, but had to back out at the last second. What a move there from Jarno Opmeer. He's been making some brilliant moves all race long, and now Istvan Pukki, of course, recently joining the Mercedes team in esports. He's going to be making a move ahead of, or looking to make a move ahead of Duncan Hoffland as they exit out of turn 10 down towards the Hansens chicane. And also Hoffland looking to gain in as well to close back in on Jarno Opmeer as we go into turn number 11. And Pukki also looking to make a move. And poor Duncan Hoffland, the last couple of laps, has been the victim of pretty much 3 drivers looking to make moves and sent it in all the corners you wouldn't think they would.
Exactly, that's what we're here for. This is, you know, you have a long day out in the world, you come home to watch a race like this. This is what you want to see, as Jarno, for the first time in this race, lap 29, takes the lead, but Duncan Hoffland right behind as well. Ishmael passes into second, cannot count him out, and yes, Istvan Pukki and Dan Berezny. We have 5 of some of the biggest names in the world in our top 5, all within roughly 1.2 seconds of each other.
Of course, it is absolutely superb at the moment. And the mad thing is, out of all of this, Duncan Hoffland is the only one that has never had an esports seat. How has that man never been in esports? He's superb, and he's never ever got given that chance. Hopefully this season in esports he gets the job because he deserves it. As that's going to be, is that Gabor again stopped? Yep. There, but for some reason the yellow flag is in the previous sector. There we are, it's caught up now as he continues on, and he's got damage on his front wing, so he must have came into contact somewhere. Is that Jarno Opmeer passing him? No, it'll be the other Red Bull.
Yeah, so he has been lapped by quite a lot of cars now. He's going to have a rough road, even if there's a safety car to come back. A bit of a shame for him, but Jarno, 21 lap, old hard tyres can go a lot longer than this, but how long can they go? I'm keeping an eye on Zenegratsky. He's in 11th place right now. He's got some DRS as well. That might work for him as Ismail Fassi's going to the inside, going to get the move done as Duncan Offlin and Istvan Puk have a little bit of contact. Duncan keeping in that third place. Not letting it go though from the Alpines. Going to have to back off. No, he's not. Goes in the inside. Enough space just left, but Duncan will get the better exit there. Oh, I love it. I just feel like there's only so many of these we can watch before it goes wrong.
I know. Certainly, you know, give it a couple more laps and someone is going to go round because they are literally within centimetres of each other. And not just two cars, there's 3 or 4 of them all within centimetres of each other battling for the top 5 positions. And Danny Berejnay is being clever. He's just sitting there watching them battle. You know, watching them cause havoc and just hoping that the 4 of them go round and he can lead and just pull away. You know, that's what he's hoping here. Just to pull away after all those guys crash into each other because eventually it's going to happen. You know, Duncan Hofland has had to defend so vigorously against Istvan Puk. It's going to go wrong eventually. One of them's going to get a little bit too angry, push one a little bit too deep and bang, wall gone.
Yeah, just bang, well gone. Damn right. Is Istvan Puk getting very close as well? Will he make a move? Nope. Gonna stay behind for now. But yeah, you're right. It really is the calm before the storm here. I want to see every driver here just do their best and give it all and make sure that they've not left anything on the table. That's what we want to see. And I think they're going to Zenegratsky. He was in the lead, gets in front of Savannah, loses out in the DRS. Now he's just got a long slog to get back into any DRS. 5.5 seconds behind Shabba Hagedis. But newer tyres should be able to get that done. Back to Jarno.
Well, for the fans of Zenegratsky and of course for you, Scott, he's only 16 seconds off the lead.
Oh, that's
you know, he's
so
going to come out in the lead once those guys pit and the gap's coming down at 16.1. Going to look into be 16.0. So, he's going to have a 3-second lead once these guys pit.
Mate, I love this. Like, see if one of these amateur drivers come out. Look, I hate calling them the amateur drivers because they're great at the game. But when you're standing next to Jarno and Duncan and Berezny, like, sometimes you just have to, you know, have a title like that. But they have shown that they can be a competitor. Sometimes they do struggle around this sort of time in the race. And sometimes when you do see that real pace come through as Jarno Watmere getting back into the lead, DRS swap, and they're going to have to because they've got a hungry Zenegratsky coming behind them.
He is, and he's closing in the gap coming down to Shabba Hegedus, of course. On a set of the older medium tyres, they're going to be so worn at this point in the race. But then again, Zenegratsky has got to go so long on those hard tyres. Near the end, he's going to be in puncture range unless he pits again, I think. So a big risk here for the McLaren, but you've got to take those risks sometimes in order to win a Grand Prix, as we do see yet again. Duncan Hofland looking to close in and make a move ahead of Ismail Fassi, but because of the pace that Jarno Watmere has, he can keep around a 4-5 gap and not really be under much pressure from those behind. He lets them battle. He can just keep that lead of the race and just keep pulling away. And hopefully at one point, Duncan and Isma get a little bit too close together, and he can then just pull away and break that 1 second gap. Around a track like this, being able to pull a 1 second gap and just pull away, it is so rewarding at the end because once you've pulled out of that 1 second gap, it's so hard to bring it back in.
Yeah, agreed. Let's look into their ERS levels. Sometimes I think that gives a good indication because they're on the train, so some people might be struggling more than others. Let's watch Istvan Puk though. He's getting very close. Gets round the outside, gets one, maybe even looking at 2. Actually doesn't get one. Duncan Hofland fighting that to the edge. I love it. They're not backing down until he's going to have to go round the outside. Leaves enough space for the other cars. But, a little bit touched it onto the grass, nearly lost the car, and the 4th place is going to have to back down a little bit. That was spicy.
I mean, I was watching from Danny's POV. He nearly got flung onto the grass a little bit like Jack West. That was insane. I mean, if that was me, I would have probably been like, right, that's it. Pause the game. I need a second because my heart would be flying at about 700 million beats a second after that. Oh, my. Danny Berejnay, what a lucky driver. But then again, these drivers, you see the situations they're in. How aren't they having a heart attack at some of these moments? I mean, you know, I'm not having a heart attack heading down a straight. Never mind battling side by side in corners like these guys do.
Nah, I love it. It's amazing to see. So Jarno has basically full battery. Yeah, Fassi as well. Puk has half battery, just so you know. So he's been using some there to fight. Duncan Hofland's got basically none. And Danny Beresney's such a sweat that we don't get to see him because he's got a big helmet.
Of course, he's just sitting back. He's like, right, battle, guys. And as I say that, he nearly plows into the back of Duncan Hoffland heading in to turn number 1. But another driver that we actually haven't spoken about for the past 6 or 7 laps, Darling Telecash. He's in the DRS. He's on dead old medium tyres. Of course, once he goes onto a set of the hard, so they easily get to the end at this point. He could also be the spot to win, of course. Balint races in WR Tier 3, if I'm correct, or Tier 2. He's also part of FVR, you know, where we've seen the likes of Ishmael Fassi over a Caraton move through the years. He's a promising driver, so maybe he's one that we could think could get a top 5, because those on the hards have got to go so long. But by that time, he would have been on his hards probably 15 laps.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Like, fair play to him. I want to see a good result for him. That'd be very good. As Tom97 gets the overtake done for 15. Still fighting going all the way down there to the back, but we are more interested in this top 6 battle. Milan Meyer dropped 10 seconds off of this. Just goes to show without DRS sometimes there's just nothing you can do.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's so painful, isn't it? I mean, you know, I've been in races sometimes where, you know, you actually get lucky to be with someone your level, and it's so hard to make some of those moves. As John What Me does make that move ahead of Ishmael Fassi to take the lead of the race, and Berejnay makes a send on Duncan Hoffland into turn number 1, and nearly loses the rear, heading through the first corner. Oh my goodness, that's going to be Hegedus there, making a move ahead of Milan Meyer into turn 1. But yeah, when you're in a DRS train, your 3rd, 4th position, it is so horrible, isn't it? Trying to make a move and you get so close, but oh, I've not got enough battery. Oh, I'm not close enough. It's horrible, isn't it? Just sitting there waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I feel like the DRS trains can maybe be a bit much, and you do just feel like you have to get through the middle part of the race, and the start and the end makes more of a sort. As long as you can keep a sort of consistent pace and stay here, you can recharge your batteries so easily. As we can see, you know, cars flashing in front, they'll be recharging batteries. They'll be making sure that no matter what happens, they're 100%. They can go into hot lap, go all the way, and you know, be able to gain another 40-50%. ERS per lap. It can be a bit crazy if you're good at recharging it.
Yeah, of course. It's such a skill in this game, making sure you can recharge that battery to perfection so you can burn it in the best position possible, as we do yet again see move forward the lead as Ishmael Fassi takes the lead of the race. What about Istvan Pukki looking to close in and locks the race, heading into turn 1, but still doesn't have to worry about Duncan Hoffman behind and can't make a move on Jarno Opmeer ahead. But guys in the chat, let us know. I want to keep you guys involved. So far, what is your rating of this race? From 0 to 10, let us know what you think of this race so far. Scott, it's got to be an 8 or 9, hasn't it, so far, surely?
I'm just saying, Zenegratsky is catching Milan Meyer as well. Like, he's going to have DRS soon. Like, I'm just saying. I've picked this guy up from round 1 for a reason. That reason was his name was cool. But now he's proven to the world that he might be up for contention. Everyone else is fighting, slowly slowing themselves down on old tyres. Look how old they are, nearly 30 laps old. My guy Zenegratsky's coming in. See if there's a safety car at the right time. It could easily go his way as well, because he's got the pace. Banging. Love it. But Resnay in 5th, Hoffland, Istvan Pukki, Jarno Opmeer, and Ishmael Fassi all in that top 5 with Balint Elikish as well. I feel like Carnage is coming. I'm looking forward to it. It's coming. I'm going to guess lap 51. We're going to see 2 people in the wall.
Lap 51. Well, I'll try and keep that in my mind, but by then I'll have forgot because of all the action we've had or going to have in this race. It's insane, isn't it? I mean, the good thing is these drivers aren't playing it seriously as they normally would. I mean, if they were being serious, I think everybody knows they would not be in the normal cars, would they? For a start, that'd be a big no-no. It's too. They're not. You know, they're too unequal. Matt. They would not be in these cars. So that shows that they're not as serious as they normally are.
Yeah, which I love to see because Jarno in that Red Bull. You know what I was saying last week? It kind of suits him, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I mean, he's Dutch. Max Verstappen's Dutch. Yeah. It makes sense, doesn't it?
It does, and I think what a great addition. But also at the same time, amazing for Istvan Pukki as well. I feel like he's such a good character and good driver as well that we can see amazing things from him. So it's nice that he's had that opportunity now, as Jarno's went. And yeah, like here they are, 1st and 3rd with an Ishmael Fassi right in the middle, who you can never rate out of a race.
Oh, certainly not. I mean, Ishmael Fassi, you know, he's one of those drivers that is so good, but he always gets done over by a bit of unluckiness. And I think the amount of times in esports last season he deserved podiums and stuff, and he couldn't get them because of the unluckiness he got. It's unfair, as we do see Ismail Fassi make that move for the lead of the Grand Prix heading into turn 1, lap 38 of 72. How's it gone that quick? We're already on lap 38. We've only got 34 laps to go, if that's correct. I'll probably mess it up, but I think it's 34.
Yeah. What? How is Ellikus staying here in this DRS train? He's 6th place, and he's staying in the DRS train. No one else was able to do that, and he's in 6th place with medium tyres on. Like, if he could just go a little bit longer, he could go on to another set of mediums and be just and not lost any advantage. He could just be right with the trips guy. That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, that is, it is superb. Yeah, give it 6 laps, possibly. Go to a set of mediums again like the hard guys, or just try and stay with them until they pit. He's in a very good position at the moment. But looking yet again at Shane, that gap is 1.1 seconds to Milan Mayer. And then, of course, a little bit of a train. 2 cars up to Hegedus, but then it's a 14.5 second gap he's got to gain in. But if Shane can get back into that, 1 second gap of 7th and 8th, get past them, he can then have free air just to push.
Oh, I'm here for that. Like, let's go, mate. I'm manifesting good things for this guy. But yeah, the top 5, 6, sorry, because he is half a second behind. He's, as you can see, he's just trailing back a little, but he's definitely still getting that DRS. Okay, so Milan Mayer and Shaba Hageris, they're swapping about a lot. Maybe they're trying to get a sort of similar thing going, and then a little kind of pack, a little duel. Sometimes that's what you need to do. It's the only way you can kind of get up there, because these top 6, they're just going to keep swapping, get further away. But Zenigratsky, if I'm looking at it right, is only going to be like 16, 17 seconds behind. Like, that's going to be such an advantage when everyone else goes in. And I've seen the hard tyres go 50, 60 laps. I have seen it. Whether they're up to the same speed that they need to be is something different, but I've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, the issue they'll have is, we see Tom 97 pitting onto a set of mediums. So, we do know that the mediums can go from now, which is going to be interesting. Do all the people see that and think, right, that's it, we're going to pit? Or do you think they'll go longer? It depends. It's a hard one, isn't it, to judge? Does anyone go to the pits now? No one. They'll say 8. But Balint, he's losing time of it now. So maybe he's got to think about pitting a little bit earlier. But then again, he gets the undercut on those ahead of him, because he'll be on brand new mediums. They're on old hards.
Yeah, the good thing is the top 5 are slowing themselves down a little bit. I don't think the laps they're putting in are incredibly fast laps. Milan Mayer on the medium tyres, 33 laps. He comes in, gets that 10-second penalty. Will be raging. My guys, there's a line we must slow down for it. Unfortunate for him. Yeah, so now I would say Balint and Shaba, they need to be looking, and Savannah as well, they need to be looking, because you can only see the sort of drivers that are 4 or 5 ahead of you when you're in the game. So if you've not got a chat telling you, if you've not got, your strategists in the chat telling you what's happening, then that's the only information you can go by, right?
Of course, and sometimes that could also be a bit inaccurate. I know that sometimes if these drivers are streaming on Twitch or YouTube, or any other streaming platforms, there might be a little bit of trolling in the chat and tricking people, saying, oh, so-and-so's on a set at the halves, and really they're on a set at the mediums, or, all those little things that, the fans try and do to spice it up a little bit more. As we do see Bergene possibly looking to make a move for 4th place ahead of Hoffland, as Janne takes the lead. Bergene sends it later to turn 1. That could come to contact. It does come close to contact. And Danny Bergene throws his elbows out and finally gets a move for 4th, but Hoffman will stick it around the outside into turn number 3. They go side by side, still heading through as we head up to turn number 4 now, and Danny Bergene has that move. And finally, after 20 laps, gets up into P4.
Let's get space. He's going for the move on the inside, but backs off at the last second. Duncan Hoffland looking to be a little bit agitated by that move. Maybe not the wisest, but anyway, they've not lost the DRS, but they're giving Ellikus just a chance to stay on the back of them. They really have to. Those types of moves that we're seeing from the top 5 are allowing a driver like Ellikus to get there, but also Zenigratsky now in 7th place. We can see he is 16 seconds off this train and just eating that time at 15.9, 15.95. Every corner getting a little bit closer.
Of course, and that is key for his race. Of course, he wants to win it, but he's going to have an issue. He's going to be on so much older tyres than the others. He's going to have to defend for his life once all those pit and catch up, as now we can see possibly a 3-1 move for the lead as we head into turn number 1. Ishmael Fassi takes the lead. Jono Otme has to hand it around the outside to cover off Istvan Pukki as we head our way through. And Jono Otme yet again takes the lead of the race, but I slightly think that Ishmael Fassi might have lifted off there to keep that DRS advantage.
Duncan Offlin and Peresny going at it again a little bit. That wasn't as spicy, but I just love how they just push the limits of what's a car's width. They like put it to the millimeter, do you know what I mean? And somehow just get away with these things without. Obviously, it'd be a lot harder in real life to do this intense racing, which is sometimes why I love this game and love watching the racing in this game just as much as the real life F1, because it's almost a different race, right? It's just you can see completely different moves that sometimes would just be inconceivable in real life.
Yeah. Of course, I mean, there's not as big of a risk factor, is there? You know, in real life, if you send a move from 7/10 back, it's not going to end well, is it? But in this game, go for it. You get a penalty. Oh, it's fine. We'll race next week. Boom. You know, a lot of drivers ain't going to be bothered in a league where you just drive and just to have fun. So you might see some more of those ambitious moves, as we do see Istvan Pukki catching up here, using that battery, trying to close in on the back of Ishmael Fassi. But then Ismail looks to get that move back ahead of Jarno Otmea and takes the lead of the race again as we head on to lap 43 of 72. So 29 laps to go in this Grand Prix. And Balint Elekesh just took those tyres 36 laps at the moment and still holds on to the leading train. This is mental, isn't it? Absolutely mental stuff.
That's great, and like Zenigradsky's catching, but not by that much, to be honest. Like that DRS advantage is definitely going to help them staying in this top back. What he needs to do is just try and find a way to get up in front and then be able to stay within the train. Because he might not be able to get the race win, but he could definitely be on for a podium here if he just stays into that DRS. When they all pit and start catching him, if he can just sort of cling on, he should be good.
Certainly, as we head our way down to the Hansa chicane once again. Lap 43 of 72, of course, a long way has gone in this race as we have. That will be Shenegratchki, I think, having an incident, or it was Samahegudis, I'm not sure. It was one of the two. But the thing is, these four cars have been on the lap 36 on their tyres, on the mediums. They've not run into any issues, so something tells me they're not in puncture range yet.
No, like the hards in this game go ridiculously hard. Like it is quite insane. They could not easily, but they could definitely pit within 5 laps onto hard tires and see out the rest of this race. Like they'll be slow, but they definitely will not puncture. It's just something I've noticed with F124. Soft tires are almost useless these days, but the hard tires almost overpowered in some ways.
Of course, as we do see Bertalan Savagna head into the pit lane onto a brand new set of mediums. So it will be medium here for the Aston Martin as we see him drop down probably just ahead of FG Eisner in P11. We'll then obviously be able to catch up and try and move ahead of some of those with penalties. But I've got to say as well, I'm surprised here by Ben Chamakonyi. You know, he's what, 20-ish, 25-ish seconds off the lead. And normally he's one of them that's right up there. So it's definitely a big surprise here for the RB driver.
Yeah, I've noticed he has actually had a bit of bad luck over the last few weeks. Definitely a name I know to be right up there on the best of his days. Maybe he's just not having one of the best of his days. But, as we see one of the drivers, is that Balint? That is Mr. Elikish going in and gets a 10-second penalty. How many 10-second penalties have you seen? We have so many good drivers in this race, and none of them can hit that break in time, it feels like.
Yeah, I do feel bad for him now, for Balint. You know, he's having such a good run. As now, Shenegratchki goes up into 6th place. And if those guys plan to pit ahead of him, he's the net race leader here. But look how close behind Elakash. Oh no, he's got the penalty, hasn't he? He hasn't served it. So, effectively, Elakash is 12.4 seconds behind. So, this is perfect for Shenegratchki. But I suppose the only issue he's got is he's on 18 old lap hards. Elakash on brand new mediums. Is it possible for Balint to get ahead and then pull 10 seconds possibly?
I mean, he's going to have the drive of his life. There's not that much time left, do you know what I mean? Zenigradsky's actually lost about half a second to that pack in front as well. But yes, he will be looking at the 3 drivers behind him, all with a 10-second penalty. Like, either way, he's in such a great place. He just needs to do his best, make no mistakes, get no penalties. And he could be making such a good dent into the Amateurs Championship. Like, that's so good.
How is Shenegratchki... I'll get it right eventually. Shenigraczki, how's he doing at the moment in the championship? He's that high because you've been here a lot longer than me, so I haven't actually seen how he's done before.
He's doing all right, to be honest. He could have been doing better, but his penalties have held him back. But last week he had a commanding top 10 finish, which I think if any of the amateur drivers get into the top 10, that is a race win in my eyes to them, because they should be expecting, if all the professionals to turn up, they should be expecting first place to be 11th, right?
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, the 10 drivers they've got for the pros are always brilliant, aren't they? It's not rare we get a bad pro. They're all brilliant drivers. So to be in the top 10 as an amateur driver is absolutely superb, and it gives them so much confidence as well going through into their own league races. They can say, I've beaten this driver or I've beaten that driver. That normally is maybe 2 or 3 tiers ahead of them in league racing.
Oh yeah, exactly. As we see, Elray get into 14th because Timbo comes into the pits onto medium tyres, obviously as well. So now it's just trying to keep up with these hard guys. Danny Berezny going for that move. He's real fast going for the move. They're 2 by 2 going into turn 1. Looks like Jarno's holding on to the outside line. Is not going to give up here. Gets that outside to the inside, sorry. Gets that move done, but Danny Berezny not giving up iron into 3rd place. He's Van Pukki doesn't want to give it up. And then there's just Duncan Hoffman right there in 5th, just going, do you know what, you fight with him. I've been fighting with him for a few laps. You take it.
Of course, there's Elikesh there, getting past Shenigraczki, going through to turn number 1 and 2. And that gap came down really quickly. So it just shows how quick those brand new mediums are and how good they are, especially at such a later stage of the Grand Prix. As we head our way through up into turn number 7, and also the McLaren there has got a little bit of battery, only 20% to use, so that's also not very good for him at all, is it? Oh, yeah. As he hops to the curb and nearly loses the car.
But if he can keep in that DRS of Elikesh, that's going to actually be quite key for him, because he's not had a lot, to be honest, this race. He's been out in the front by 5, 4, 3 seconds as it came down. This is what he needs, actually, needs a driver like Elikesh on those medium tyres to just got to carry him along.
Of course, and the issue is, of course, that's going to be Duncan Hoffman making a massive send on Istvan Pukki heading into turn number 1. I didn't quite see that happening until we got to the braking zone, and Duncan Hoffman just wasn't braking, as Pukki does lose that position now and drops down to 5th, but will try and stick his wheel in there as we head out of turn 3. But no, the move does get completed by Duncan Hoffman now, who moves up into 4th place as we head our way through into turn 7 once again to end that first sector. Lap 48 to 72. Are they going to... Oh, it's going to be hard now. Do they pit or not? Because they've gone quite far at this point. And Elikesh has got a 15-second gap.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll bring that down enough in quick enough time.
I think if a safety car comes, you'll probably see them just come in. But other than that, they don't have to. They're still staying away. They're all happy. Is that a
lap car?
Yeah, I think that was Gab in the Mercedes. It's a hard one. As I was saying, the hard tyres are quite OP. How long have they been going? 40 laps. They could definitely get another 20 laps, which would bring them to lap 68. Yeah, I would like to see them pit just to see some faster times, but yeah, I don't think they have to.
No, they just keep their... Oh, they don't fight too often. They just keep their pace where it is. They should be fine to get to the end. Of course, they'll take the tyres 60-ish laps in the race, 62-ish laps, so it'll be a long way for them to go. Yeah. But it's definitely possible if they just keep themselves in a decent window with pace. So that will be a crash at turn number 3. Safety car!
Oh, yes! All right. Yes, mate! I was like, do you know
you
what?
absolutely called it.
Oh, I didn't. Man's my guy David Vinci, one of the graphic designers for the Ironman as well, does all those lovely lineup sheets as well. Just realising that we needed a damn safety car in this race. I salute you, sir. Let's do it. I'm going to bring us back onto this. So, Nathan, what are you thinking so far for this race? What are we going to see strategy-wise?
I'll get it right eventually. I'll get it right once and then forget it Shenigraczki, there we go. Soft tyres.
Softs?
And other people are going mediums. No, sorry. We've got mediums, we've got softs again.
Right.
What does Miller Mayer do? Does he go medium? Does he go soft? What does he choose to do when it loads? Mediums, mediums, mediums. So, this is going to be interesting, but the top 5, that's where we've got to watch.
Yeah,
but
that's not a good
something
time
that helps. Oh, but one guy this helps. Elikesh, 22-second gap to Shenigraczki. He can get that 10 seconds off and fly away because you only lose around 10 seconds in the pit, so he might come out just ahead of the McLaren or just behind him. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, Elikesh is going to come. He's going to come in to have Pat. Let's see what the tires are. Mediums for all of the top runners. Very interesting. Elikesh is probably going to a new set of mediums, you would think. But Zenigratski on the softs. That is risky. But do you know what? I'm channeling my inner Zenigratski. Like, come on, mate, you've got this. Maybe he's realizing that on sheer pace he's not going to be able to beat them, so he has to try something different. I respect that play.
But then again, I'm starting to think here maybe it's the fact that Zenigratski doesn't have any other tyres to use as in the safety car he gets a 10-second penalty. Not ideal. Let's just put it that way. Definitely not ideal by Savannah. But of course, if Zenigratski clicked onto the softer tyre allocation, maybe he doesn't have any other new tyres left. Possibly.
Yeah. And here you go.
I'm not sure.
You've got Berlin Elikesh now served his time penalty onto softs right behind Zenigratski. That's how clutch that's come in for him. He was fighting with Zenigratski, but he had a 10-second penalty. And somehow he's been able to literally just switch with him. What?
Yeah.
Man,
this race could go down in history in the Ironman League because we've got 5 esports drivers on a set of the mediums, 2 of our amateurs on a set of the softs. But then again, their pace has already, obviously both from Ballint and Zenigratski, their pace has been well today. It's been really, really good. So possibly they're in a situation where if they can use these soft tyres for the first 4 or 5 laps to have that advantage over those on the mediums, push ahead, but then just conserve the tyres to the end, use the DRS and ERS to their advantage, maybe they could still come away with the top 5 here.
Yeah. Okay, look at the stops. Tom 97 and Elray have had 4 stops. But they needed this. They were sort of out of contention quite quickly onto this race, so they've waited. They've paid their dues, and this is what they deserve. They deserve a chance to show just how good they really are. So glad to see everyone's getting back into it. Some of these drivers will need to hurry up. I imagine the safety car is going to come in end of lap 53, I would imagine, unless everyone catches up very quick. But yeah, so it's going to be, I would say, just about 20 laps of racing. 20 laps of racing, the soft tyres don't seem to work. It's a bit risky though, honestly. I think they'll be 40% used, maybe even a bit more by the end of that. The pros might be on something here with the mediums. I feel like with the mediums, there's no risk. You know they're going to go to the end, and they're going to be quite competitive.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's one of those, you never know what to do until you do it. Do you know what I mean? You know, you have the race now, and Elikesh, Zenigratski, Savannah, they can look back after and say, right, that didn't work. Or they can look back and say, well, we paid the risk and it worked. You know, you never know what's going to happen. It's such an interesting scenario, isn't it, at this point, where in a 100% race, we've still got 20 laps to go. That's near enough another 50% race.
Yeah, no, totally. And I feel really bad for Eisler. He's like the only guy that's got track limit penalty, man. Like, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the only guy that's got it. Unfortunate for him, because we did see him go off earlier, and that could have been a warning that, you know, sometimes I feel like if you make a mistake, you shouldn't get the warning. Do you know what I mean? No. But then you get it, or if you have to like avoid a car and go off slightly, it will still give you the warning. Like, obviously we can't take that stuff away, but yeah, no. Raging for him. But yeah, okay. So basically everyone's caught up. We're waiting for the last 5 guys to come in. Except via Gabor. He's lapped, right? He's lapped and at the back. So he's basically out of this race. Shabba Hagedis leaves the lobby. Hopefully he can get back in.
Yep, certainly. I mean, luckily though, he will be in that safety car train. You know, the AR doesn't just drop behind the safety car train. He's got back in, luckily. Nice. For Shabba Hagedis. As we head our way through turn 2 and 3, of course, at very slow speeds, the safety car leads us on, and we've got 3 cars to catch up. That'll be 4. We've got a Haas, a Red Bull, a Williams, and a Mercedes. Once they catch up, the safety car should go in. I think this lap or next lap, and we'll be in. We've got 20 laps to go, so we'll go racing with 19 or with 18 laps to go here. This could be an interesting ending. But then again, the soft tyres will probably go to around lap 62, lap 63 before they start to die off. So if they can just conserve them at the start after making those moves, they could be in a decent position at the end.
Yeah, no, just looking at the heroes and zeros as well. See for Zenigratski to only be down 5 spots when starting. I'm so happy for him. This is absolutely banging. I need to not swear. Ismail Fassi up 13, Jarno up 16 spots. Pardon me, Berezny up 12 and Hawthorne up 16 as well. Amazing work from them. Istvan Pukki up 11 as well. Ben Shajabakonye, yes, we've not seen too much from him, but he's up 11 spots, to be fair. Like, if you didn't have these guys in front of him, that would be a really good drive. But when you're comparing it to some of the other drivers that are just right up the top, he's got a chance. All right, Nathan, safety cars in, let's do this.
Oh, no. Well, this could be interesting, but it will be Ismail Fassi who leads us away in the safety car restart on Jarno Uppbeat in second place, and we'll see when does Ismail Fassi decide to go as we head our way up to turn number 1 or out the final corner. He's going to go late, and he's going to leave it all the way to the start line before he chooses to put his foot to the floor and head down to turn number 1. Uppbeat is closing in behind Berezny as well, looking to try and attack as we head our way for lap 52 of 72. Green flag conditions in Zandvoort, and many cars having a good start as we head our way into turn 1, possibly 3 wide at the moment, as that will be Shenegratski looking to close in on the back of Pukki. Pukki's looking to make a move ahead of Duncan Hoffland as we head our way through turn 2 and turn number 3. Bit of contact as we head our way in. And 4th and 5th having a good battle, but Ismail Fassi got away perfectly there. Oh, that'll be Pukki pushing Hoffland nearly onto the grass.
That nearly all went wrong for Zenegratsky as well. Nearly get caught up with that. Ismail Fassi already 7/10 away. Will be pushing this entire lap. The difference with this game and F1 is you get DRS after 1 lap and not 2. So as you can see, Ismail Fassi's going for it. Jarno needs to do all he can to stay in that DRS. He's got 1 second to do it. Oh, it's all went bad for Hagen. Something's happened there. He is DNF'd and gone out of the session. Something's went wrong. Jarno, 0.9795, 0.95972. Is he going to be able to do it? I think he's maybe just out of the DRS. No, I think he just got it.
We'll see what happens as we head to turn 1, and so it was been a disconnection there for Shaban, and of course that has DNF'd him from the session. A big shame indeed for the Ferrari, who was doing a decent job earlier on in the race, but the soft runners of Shenegratski and Elikesh haven't really got anywhere, unfortunately, so maybe their strategy might have been a bit of a blunder here in the race so far. They have better pace, it seems, but they just can't get anything with it as we head our way up the hill. Of course, at the front, Jarno Uppbeat has lost that 1 second gap to Ismail Fassi, but the battery-wise as well, they're very similar, so Jarno's got to push here, otherwise he's going to be under so much pressure from those behind him.
Honestly, Ismail Fassi, just what a start, what a lap, to actually be able to do that. Like, if he can just nail it for this final sector, he should get the DRS for this part, you would think. Yeah, it's very hard to tell, but yes, he does just get that. But it's a millisecond here between it. Ismail Fassi, what an attempt. It's very hard to do that, and he gave it his best go.
He did, and of course now Jarno will easily stick within that 1 second gap as we head our way around Ari Leyendijk to begin lap 55 of 72 in this Grand Prix as we head our way then to turn 1 now. Possibly, what can Elikesh and Shenegratski do here as we head to turn 1? The McLaren looking to make a move for top 5 as we head into the first quarter, but no. It looks like he was too scared to make the move, and now Elikesh going to go around the outside to try and capitalise off that one as we head through turn 3, through turn 2, sorry, into turn number 3. Who's going to keep that position? Is Elikesh going to get it done and dusted as we head our way up to turn 4, 5 and 6? And the RB's got it done. Now Elikesh can try and push forward to make a move ahead of Hoffland here.
As long as they don't slow each other down too much and lose the ERS, Istvan Pukki right behind Danny Berezny as well. They'll be hoping that those two soft guys just keep on fighting and these medium guys can just chill at the front, because if they keep on fighting, they're just going to go through the tyres too quick. It's as easy as that. But Istvan Pukki, 4th place. Ismail Fassi, though, in the lead. Now he can just try and swap the DRS for the next sort of 15 laps. Get his battery back. He had his best goal, but it's a very hard thing to do, especially within 1 lap of racing without DRS. Very hard to get away.
It certainly is as we head on to lap 56 now, and it will still be Ismail Fassi that leads the Grand Prix, and Istvan Pukki now looking to close in and make a move ahead of Danny Berezny to turn 1 as Jarno Uppbeat takes the lead. Pukki to the outside of Berezny as we head into turn number 1, and no moves can be made there, but Jarno takes the lead back again as now Shabakonyi gets ahead of... Oh, what's happened to Shenegratski? He's dropped down to P10 and he's had an incident. He's dropped down behind Miller-May, possibly to turn number 3. Oh, and it's all fell apart here for Shenegratski.
Oh my guy, no, it breaks my heart as we have Elry as well getting into the fight. First time we've seen from him getting his elbows out. The two halves couldn't be much closer between each other. Staying on this for a little bit longer looks amazing to see, but looks like they'll just have to stay in place for now. Elry fighting with Milan Meyer. He's the pro teammate in his team, but that's not going to stop him. I've seen Elry go for moves on anyone, alright? I've seen him do it on all of the creators. I've seen him doing Charles Leclerc in the game. Like, this man, he's not afraid to do nothing.
He certainly is not, as we head our way out of the chicane, and yet again, down to turn number 1, and who can be making moves here, because Berichet's got a decent run here on the back of Uppbeat and Fassi. We could have a 3-wide move into turn 1. Through the middle goes Berichet. He will get a move past Uppbeat, unless Uppbeat can defend it, and Ishmael Fassi moves over. Uppbeat has that inside on into turn 2, as we head our way through, and can Berichet get that second place away from Jarno Uppbeat as we head out of turn 3, up to turn 4, and you can see Berichet edges ahead and takes that second place away from Jarno Uppbeat.
Yeah, love to see it now. Berlin Elikas, he's going to be the amateur that's absolutely got the best chance of getting the most points now that Zenigratsky's lost out a few spots. Unfortunate, but he is on those soft tyres, so we'll see how long they last. Already 7 laps in for those soft tyres, you'll already be starting to feel them go a little tiny bit. Let's see if we can keep on to the train of the medium guys, but I do think this might have been a mistake.
He might have done, but then again, he took a risk, you know, didn't he? He could have worked it, and so far it hasn't. But then again, anything can happen. We could have another safety car, and it could yet again throw everything into the air. As we head our way through the final corner once again to begin lap 58 of 72 now. Not many laps to go in this race, and Jarno Uppbeat yet again on the ERS down to turn 1, looking to make a move for the lead of the race. We can see him go to the outside of Ishmael Fassi. Denny Berichet takes the lead of the race. Isma tries to keep it to the inside. Jarno now looks to try and find a move ahead of the Williams. Oh, and Berichet lifts off there as we head into turn number 3, and no move can be made by Jarno Uppbeat unless he goes down the inside of Ishmael Fassi. Can he find the move? He can't, no, but Berichet ends up holding Ishmael Fassi up, and now Uppbeat on the outside, but Ishmael Fassi looks to go to the inside and takes the lead heading into turn number 7, but Berichet hangs it around the outside yet again, and what a battle into turn 7, Berichet and Fassi. Oh, what a battle there. That was absolutely superb.
That was great, wasn't it? That is why I'm here every week, is to see some racing like that, when they're just absolutely sending it. As Elry gets in front of Zenigratsky as well, it's all falling apart for my guy. Unlucky, mate. Get better luck next time. Look how close they all are as well. It looks like something's just going to have to go wrong. Nearly 2 wide, 3 rows in there. Jarno Uppbeat sending it around the outside here. This is dangerous. This is the type of racing that might lose DRS Train for people who need to watch that type of moves. Danny Berezny fighting the inside, but all 3 of them, there's like 3 wide. Right, on you go. Why not? It's lap 59. Let's start fighting.
Well, Pookie was just 4th. He's now taking the lead of the race. Jarno Uppbeat, though, looks to fight for it. Yes, again, as we've had a DNF in the pit lane. That'll be FGE Eastner there, who's unfortunately decided that is his day done in the pits, as we do see Berichet drop to 4th place. Uppbeat back in the lead. Fassi looking to close in to take 2nd place, and this Van Pookie there looking to take the lead, but he can't do so. We've got 2-1 action. That's going to be Berichet up the inside of Ishmael Fassi into turn number 8. Yet again, these two go side by side in one of the most treacherous parts of the circuit. And now Duggan Hoffland enters the battle, looking to try and find a move. You can see Ismail has to go to the inside there to defend from the Aston Martin, who's not had one battle this whole stint. Now it's his turn to try and get involved.
Yes, it's getting ridiculous. Like, you could lose like 7 spots in a DRS zone now. Like, you have 8 drivers that close to each other. Like, that Jarno, if he doesn't use resources here, he's going to get absolutely swallowed up. Amazing driving. This is what I'm here for. Can I get another 16 odd laps like that, please? Just absolutely sending it. Look how close they all are together. You're going to see some overtaking going on. Is that Ishmael Fassi going on the inside? Absolutely sending it. Looks up a tiny bit. Doesn't get the release that he needed to. Might need to just back off, and he does. They want a race, but they're not going to be silly about it. That's what I like to see.
Of course, as Berichet still looks to try and close in on the back of this Van Pookie as we head our way through up the hill into turn number 7. And at this point, any of these 5 here could win this Grand Prix. And definitely don't count out Bench Shabakonya here on the back of Balin Telecash. If he can make a move for P6, he could also enter this battle because, of course, his tyres are very similar to the age of those in the top 5 as we head into turn number 10. And then, of course, head on towards the chicane. Of course, DRS will be opened here, but no one can look to make moves at all along this section of the circuit. In towards turn number 11 we go. And yet again, Ismail Fassi not scared to look for a move.
Yeah, okay, time to look at some ERS, I think. Jarno full, Pookie full, Berezny, no idea. Sweat. Ismail Fassi, 3/4. Duncan Hoffman, 3/4 as well. Belent using on those soft tyres. I'm not too surprised to see that. Ben Chabokonya, he's good. He's good. He's got a lot as well. So they're not giving us real pace here. They're actually conserving their tyre as well. And that's what I like to see, because we're going to see a last 5-lap shootout, I think, where everyone's just going to have to go for it. They're going to have to start positioning themselves, because you want to be in second place, I would think, coming into that last lap. That last straight, I would think second place is probably the advantage here in this race.
Yeah, or even third, depending how far back you are from the train. You know, look at these guys here. 2, 1, 1/10 between the top 4. That's half a second separating 4 cars, which is absolutely mental as we head our way through into turn number 10. But with the cars being that close, any of these 4 could take the win, because all it takes is one of them to make a small mistake and someone gets caught up in it, and the one in 4th moves up into 1st.
Yeah, and I've seen last week as well, there was a time penalty that came in the last few, that 3 seconds that just put it all out of contention. Who knows what these guys are on? I would argue that there'll be a few of them that are on 2 warnings as well, so anything can go wrong when they start fighting. That's when you see track limits getting exceeded and getting punished for it. Okay, it looks like we're going to be trying to make some moves here. Ismail Fassi goes around that outside line. He's found Pookie in. A little bit cocky. Danny Berezny leaves the session. That's really unfortunate to see. Hopefully he can get back in.
Oh, he's lagged out. What a shame here for Danny Berezny. Hopefully he can try and get back in shortly. Of course, Duncan Hoffman here looking to make a move ahead of his AI. Oh, and what a shame for Danny Berezny, who was looking to be in a position to win. He's now dropped behind Ben Chabokonya, now behind the back of Bertel and Savagna. And then, of course, it will be Elroy Geary next to go up into P8. What a shame for Danny Berezny, which now brings, yet again, Valentin Akash even closer to this top 4 battle now.
Yeah, like, so sad for him, but we need to look at the other story arcs as well. Like, you're right, like, Belin Elikish is 2 spots away from getting a podium in a race where there's 10 professional drivers and he's in a different league. It's like a multi-league race, this, you know? Like, he could actually get a podium. I don't think I've commentated somewhere where one of the amateur guys have actually got a podium. This is big, like, do you know what I mean? He needs to do all he can to conserve those tyres, and if he can conserve them and just get that DRS back up, get in there, who knows?
But he can't. He's nothing he can do. Jarno takes the lead. Ismail Fassi takes the lead there. Oh, we're heading to turn 1. And it's like a bus stop then at the first corner. Ismail Fassi, yet again, has to concede that position to Jarno, but gets it back. Heading into turn number 3, as Ben Chabokonya now goes up into the top 5. Duncan Hoffland trying to go up the inside of Istvan Pookie, but can't quite make that move work as we head our way up into turn number 7. And yet again, every lap, the race changes, doesn't it? It completely changes its complexion.
Yeah, Duncan was a bit spicy there. He just kind of said that. That's what I'm hoping we get to see a bit more in the last 10 laps. Danny Berezny's in. Hopefully he can get control of his car again. We'll find out. But to be honest, down to 10th, that is kind of the end of his race. I hate to see it. Just one of the consequences of doing these online sessions rather than all being in a big room at LAN, of course. Duncan Hoffman in 4th place. He's the last race he was in, he won, right? Don't count him out. He can do this, but Jarno can do. He's more fast. He's had Pookie, Bishop, Konya. Like they've all got what it takes to win this. And I'm just like, how do we separate this? Like, who's going to make the right move at the right time? I don't know.
It's about luck, isn't it, for these guys at this point? They're that good. They've got to be lucky, as it will be Shinagratsky. Oh, no! And retires from the race.
Mate! He's my guy, and I'm just, you know what? He'll be back next week. Don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen. The Zenegratsky show will be back next week with a vengeance, and we're going to see him smack Jarno into the wall, take out Ron Hart, and become F1's new bad guy. Just you wait.
I'm sure well, Maybe you've asked him to. Maybe he'll do it now. He's not going to lose anything, is he? He'll become famous on TikTok, that's for sure. And
Yes.
he'll be well known by the Yarno fans because anyone who has a go at Yarno, they hate it, don't they? The Yarno Uppbeat stands. They absolutely hate it when anyone beats him.
Yeah, maybe we can bring everyone together, you know? Sometimes you need a common enemy. Maybe it could be Xenogratsky and everyone just unites, you know? Lap
Maybe.
64,
They all just kill everyone so Xenogratsky can win. The only driver that finishes the race will be him.
Yes. Ah, I love it. Okay, we are getting into the crunch time now. Let's look at tire wear. 14, 15 laps now. 15 or 16, sorry, between the medium guys. More overtakes going on. Yarno on the outside will be just not backing down at all. Why would he? Can they get rounds? Look at that Alpine right close as well. Goes for the inside lane at that last second. Ismail Fassi might be into third now. What can Istvan Puka do now? Stays behind Duncan right behind him as well. Ben Chabaconye in fifth. I think that's the highest he's been so far.
Yeah, a good job so far here by Bench Chabaconye, but of course we'll be looking to close into fourth here and get a move ahead of Duncan Hoffland, who hasn't done anything, has he really, for the past 10 laps? He just sat where he is, he's just let everything happen, he's not made any moves, apart from, of course, Danny Brojnet's car going into the AI mode. Apart from that, he's just sat there and watched everything happen, just letting it all, just all evolve, and for his sake, hoping a couple of cars come to a bit of contact as we head our way down to turn number 11 and 12. And all it takes now is for Opmea, Fassi to make a mistake, and Hoffland and Chabaconye can try and make their way through and get a podium here. That's all it takes in this race. One slight miscalculation, and the cars are moving up a couple of positions, and cars are losing multiple positions.
Yeah, exactly. But look at that gap they've been able to get from everyone else. Absolutely mad. With Fassi into the lead. Yarno around that outside again. Might have to back off here going into turn 2, 3, and 4. Definitely does. Doesn't want to lose out on any or get damage, because if you get damaged, then it's game over. But yeah, they're just going to have to, as we said earlier, settle themselves into the right position going into the final lap and save up that battery, because you do not want to be in first place. We don't know what the right position is, but you do not want to be in the lead come lap 71. No chance at all. So they'll probably already be doing the math right now to try and sort of, okay, I'm 9 laps away, I should be here, or etc, etc. Yes, mate. But who else? Who should we be looking at as well with excitement? Elikas still staying. He's at the highest of the amateurs right now, absolutely killing it. But so is Savania. Savania's done great. He's in front of Milan Meyer, one of the pros, and right there, that's a statement.
Of course, but unfortunately has a penalty, and that's cost him a very good result here, which is a big shame, isn't it, for Bertel and Savania, as we do see Pookie, though, on the back of Opmea. But the good thing is Opmea can then rely on the DRS for Ismail Fassi to then just pass him and take the lead again as we head into turn number 1, but chooses to stick behind. And now, Ben Chabaconye looks to close it as Elray Giri gets past Milan Meyer in towards turn number 1 and goes up into P8 in the race. But guys, we've got 5 laps to go in this Netherlands-Dutch Grand Prix. Let us know who you think will take the victory, because 5 laps, the lead is going to change probably 5 times, and it can be any of those top 5 or maybe the top 6 that can take that top spot here around the Netherlands.
Yeah, I'm going for Yarno. I don't know about you. I'm going for Yarno. He's been second place. He's always been up there. He's only 4 points off the championship lead right now. I feel like it's his turn to be that one that actually gets the race. When he lost by 0.004 of a second in round 1, I think it's going to be similar times as well coming into that final straight. But I think he's got it. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm going to go with Duncan Hoffland. I feel like he's got it in the bag. I mean, I'm looking in the chat, and there's a lot of people saying Tom 97 for some reason.
Mate.
But as normal, Yarno Opmea. It's Yarno, who's looking to be in position for the win, as he does look to take the lead into turn 1. But Istvan Puki looks to send it up the inside. Ismail Fassi keeps it around the outside. Yarno Opmea takes the lead of the race on lap 68 of 72. And now Istvan Puki looking to close in on the back of Ismail Fassi. But the mad thing is, since the safety car went in 18 laps ago, only Isma and Yarno took the lead.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're sort of just they're happy up at the start of it, which makes sense because you need to be in this top 3, top 4. The train's too long. There's what, like 8 cars here. If you're 8th place, you're not going to make that much of a gain to get up the top.
No.
You need to be starting to get up there now. You need to be in that top 5, top 4. Otherwise, it's not going to go out. Oh, goes really tight with an inside line there, and Jarno just looked so wide of a line. Got quite a good exit and is enjoying at least one part of the track where he's not got someone right up his butt.
Certainly. But Pookie looking to close in and make that move there. Hofland also closing in, and Bent Shabakonyu there in P5 also is in a superb position here to, get that advantage over someone making a mistake in towards the first couple of corners as we head our way down to turn 1. Otmir has the lead, but the cars are closing in quickly. Otmir's going to lose out possibly to 2 cars as we head to turn 1. Pookie goes up the inside. Ismail Fassi looking to take the lead of the race. Otmir goes deep and allows the Williams to try and fight for it, but no. Ismail Fassi chooses to stay behind, and because of that, Hofland slammed into the back of Pookie.
Oh, you gotta watch that. The tiniest bit of damage from these guys makes the biggest difference, right? When you're at the top of your game, these little tiny things do cost big. Oh, getting very squiggly from Duncan Hofland as well, and Ben Shabakonyu. Okay, it's all a matter of time. I don't think all 7 of these drivers are going to make it to the end intact. This is getting too spicy. This is what we like from Netherlands. Just look at all these cars just shuffling around each other. It's honestly too close, but Jarno's starting to get away. He's put his foot down. He's not even used that much battery, which makes me think that everyone's just starting to fight behind him, and this could actually just throw away the lead right now. 0.85, 0.9, 0.91. What are we doing here? That's mad.
Yeah, Isma's, spent too much time defending against this Van Pookie. It's cost them possibly a chance to win. And look now, Ishmael has had to burn all the batteries saved up to close back to Otmir. As we do see, yet again, Pookie's closing in, but can he make a move? No. What about Ismail Fassi? No, he just sits on the back of Jarno Otmir, as yet again, Aurigiri getting ahead of Milan Mayer as Danny Bergene now gets ahead of Milan Mayer and goes up into P9, looking to close in and make a move for P8 in the race. And unfortunately, I don't think he'll get much better than that. A big shame for Danny Bergene as we watch the cars head through, of course, on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Lap 70 is 72. It's Otmir that leads, but then again, I feel like he'll drop behind going on to the end of this lap. So if he can drop behind going into turn 1 on this lap, obviously ends lap 70, drops behind going into turn 1 on lap 71, he's got the DRS for the final run there. As we do see Pookie looking to make a move ahead of Ismail Fassi here into turn number 11.
No, backs off from it. But yeah, no, that was real good IQ from Jarno there. He made other drivers use his ERS and he didn't overuse his, so he might have a 10-20% sort of advantage going into that final turn now. But yeah, we expect him to be overtaken now, but what if people just start staying behind a little, you know? I mean, that's what we're going to have to see. Let's see what drivers are thinking. It looks like Ismail Fassi just wants to stay behind. He could have easily went for a move there. Okay, DRS games are on everyone's minds. It's at this moment in time as El Rey loses out in a few spots as well. Okay, it's crunch time. Who is the smartest driver now?
One of the top 5, I think. I think that sums it up perfectly. They're that smart, it's one of them. You can't really pick a name of who. But Hofland there, looking for a move around the outside into turn number 7. Can't quite make it work, but surely heading down towards turn number... Ooh, when will Jarno will have to concede it, going into turn 11, I think.
Yeah, but like, if everyone just decides to just not overtake, then there's nothing he can do, right? Like, there's just nothing he can do about it. Like, he's almost at the mercy of 3rd or 4th place fighting for seconds. But
he's got full battery.
He's got it, yeah, exactly. But will it be enough? It might be. This is it. Okay, so this is going to be the final time we're going to see this full straight done with the DRS. We'll see about a third of it on the final lap. Sorry, the second last time we'll see it. Let's see what moves are going to be made. Ismail Fassi is going into the lead. He's committing to starting the last lap in the leads. That could be a worry. Maybe he's just going to put his foot down. He's got hardly any ERS. Jarno with a full ERS. This is it. This is Jarno's chance to win this. This could actually be his win. But Istvan Pukki and Duncan Hofland might have something to say about it.
They might do indeed, but the good thing here for Ismail Fassi is Jarno's only got one opportunity with DRS, unless he goes for it without it. Around the outside into turn 7, he goes for the move. He can't quite get ahead. Because of how thin this track is and how big these cars are, Ismail Fassi's in the perfect position here to just hold Jarno Otmir back. as we head into turn number 9. Then we'll head into turn number 10, where, of course, Yonomi will get that DRS for the final time in this race. He's got to push hard now to take the lead, but look how close the gap is. Yonomi's in a perfect position. To the outside goes Yonomi. He tries to fight for the lead. Ishmael Fassi heads into the corner deep, and he keeps that lead for now as Hoffland takes third away from Pookie. But what can Yonomi do here?
As we're coming into the final corner, this is it. He needs to put his foot down. DRS will start roughly about now. You can already see him gaining a bit of advantage. 0.2, 0.21, 0.21, 0.5. Is it going to do it? It's going to be so close. And he does it. He actually does it in the end. Oh my god, 7,000ths of a second. I said it was going to be close, Nathan. That is how close it's going to be. 7,000ths of a second. Jarno Opmeer, as far as I've seen, the first race win in the Red Bull as well. At least in Ironman, that's banging, mate.
Oh, well, he lost it by 0.004 to Hoffland, and he wins it by 0.07 to Ishmael Fassi. What a drive there from Opmeer. And I thought it was done. I thought he's messed it up. I thought there's no way, but...
Ah, Ishmael Fassi, I feel bad for him, but like he can't be mad at that, right? We're talking,
oh no,
like
certainly not.
A blink of an eye, even quicker.
Well, just
than
look at the chat. Look at the chat. They go mental.
Mate, Jarno Opmeer deservingly with that win, up 17 spots, saved his battery, was at the front at the right time, and got an unorthodox win. Like, let's just say, like, I was with you. I thought he'd thrown it away by not getting it in this final sector. DRS straight, but you know what? As Jarno always does, he proves us wrong and wins races. Driver of the day. The game gives it. I would give him it as well, Nathan. What do you think?
Yeah, certainly. Oh, definitely. I mean, watching that then was like watching your football team in a draw. You get to the 90th minute and you score just before the referee blows his whistle and everyone's going mental, which is what the chat is doing. Everyone is going absolutely... Well, I could say many words, but I'm not going to. So Jarno Opmeer there. But honestly, I mean, I've been here for the first race, and might be one of the only races, being as I think Dan will be back next week. But this is one of the best races I've ever commentated on. Every lap, what's going to happen? That's all you think in your head. And for a commentator, it's mind-boggling, isn't it? Because you never know what to say, because as soon as you say one thing, the opposite happens.
Yes. Yeah, no, totally. I've fallen in love with the Ironman League since I came first on as a sort of reserving every now and again last season. And to just see these races come every week is so cool because it's not conventional. There's no qualifying, there's no practice, there's no set standards of who's going to be where. It's that you've got some of the best drivers in the world that you need to send back. Let me just quickly get through. So Jarno Opmeer in first place, Ishmael Fassi in second, Duncan Hoffland third, Istvan Puk in fourth, Ben Shabel Konye fifth, Balint Elikas in the amateur leagues, incredible. Danny Berezny had a bad day for him, but good to see him in seventh. Tom 97th and 8th, well done. Milan Meyer, El Riguri, Bertolin Savania, David Vincent, Timbo, Gab, Sonia Vaji Gabor, Zenagratsky, my guy, Eisner, Shabahagenis, Thomas Ronhart, and Jack West. They DNF'd and left so long ago that I almost forgot about it. It's been that much of a cool race, right?
Yeah, superb. Absolutely brilliant this race has been. And, you know, if you've been here in the chat the whole time, you've been here for over an hour and 45 minutes, and you've not missed out at all because it was absolutely brilliant all the way to the end. And you know, if you know anyone that has got a pad and watching this race afterwards, tell them to watch it now because it's definitely worth 2 hours of your time by far.
It's every week. They just absolutely keep sending it. They're not taking it too seriously. They're testing themselves in this game, F1 24, and they're just showing us what can happen. The hard tires didn't go, you know, like that strategy worked, but like we had people on the softs as well. Like it was just everything everywhere. Like amazing, guys. If you've just been coming in, this is WR's Ironman, where we take 10 of the best drivers in the world and 10 of Hungarian's best talents. We put them in 2 leagues, we throw them together, and we just see what happens through a random track with random weather. That was cool as well, seeing from wet to dry. That's what I like as well. We give these drivers multiple chances, and the amateurs multiple chances to show their skills. And do you know what? A few did today. They should be so happy with themselves.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you know, a couple. I think there's 1 or 2 in the top 10. I think there might have been 3 actually that got in the top 10 in the end. So, you know, a superb job by those guys indeed. You know, it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I don't think we have anyone here for the chat today, unfortunately.
Nah, they're not rage. Like usually, my guy Danny Berezny comes and chats for 20 minutes, but he'll be absolutely raging after what happened to him, getting disconnected. Hate to see it as well. But do you know what? Like, What a great race. Every week we have this, by the way, Thursdays at 7 p.m. BST. That is British Standard Time, or Summertime, sorry. And we're here, we start the stream, we just get to see a wonderful race every week. I really, really hope you guys have enjoyed it. I know we certainly have. Nathan, I'm sure we'll be seeing you again. I have been having a roundabout of amazing commentators coming in and doing it. We obviously started with Adam Sanderson, we had Danfield last week, we've had yourself this week. Would you recommend this to your friends, Nathan? I think it's been a banging race, right?
I mean, I'd recommend it to me now, and she doesn't know anything about cars. Oh, we do have someone in. We have Duncan. Should we drag him in?
Oh yeah, let's drag him in and see how he's feeling. Let's go, Mr. Hofflin. After doing all of those laps, starting in the wet, going to the dry, being in that insane train, sending it every lap for 50 laps, how do you feel after that?
Sweaty. Yeah, it was a tough one on this. I knew as soon as I saw it was Zandvoort, I knew it was gonna be tough because obviously final corner is just full of bumps. So yeah, that was it was pretty tough on the arms at some point. But yeah, I mean at the end was just waiting, and yeah, I was just hoping something to happen, and it happened pretty late in sector 3, final lap, and managed to get me a podium.
I love it. Nathan, what do you think?
Superb, Duncan. Honestly, mate, I know, I've been commentating over you now for about, 3-4 seasons combined in WR and PSGL, and today, it's one of those where every driver has to try so hard, more than normal, because it's such a long race, isn't it? Of course, normally you do 50% races, but it was 100% race, and you've got to be at 100% the whole time. So I'm sure, if you didn't go to the gym today, you've definitely compensated for it with a 100% race, because surely on those the Fanatec's or the Moses or whatever, you're surely going to be in pain after that. So much of just constant left, right, with so much newton-meters in that wheel.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, unfortunately, I did go to the gym, and now I'm not happy about that decision I made this morning now. But yeah, it was hard, but also it didn't really happen. I got wing damage at some point with Istvan, so that also didn't really help. And the front tires were already had a lot of tire wear. So yeah, at the end, just happy to get another podium at least, and yeah, on to next week.
Amazing to hear. Like, well played, mate. We seen you in round 1. There was 0.004 of a second, obviously, with you winning that. We also seen really close margins today, didn't we? We actually have a race winner in as well. Duncan, Jarno, how was it racing each other again? I'm sure you have raced a million times together, but what did you find fun about this race? We'll start with you, Duncan. What do you think of Ironman's format? It's a bit different than what you're used to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like it a lot, and I think it's a bit of the same for Jarno. Qualifying is another favorite part. It's mainly in the race, and yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's just a lot of chaos at the start, and I mean, about the fact of racing Jarno this race, I haven't seen him a lot. I think in the first lap maybe, then he overtook me again, and from then on there was always someone in between. So yeah, it was all good.
Amazing. Jarno, welcome, man. Congratulations. How do you feel that went for you?
Yeah, good. It was a long race. Was a bit tough on the arms, but yeah, it was good fun. Overtakes every lap. Didn't really have to push too hard, to be honest, because yeah, it was just swapping around every lap rather than pushing lap times out. Yeah, just swapping. I think out of the 72 laps, maybe like 50 of them. And then yeah, it was just waiting until the last lap until me and Ismail could go at it. I think both me and Ismail had slightly better pace than the rest, which is why when we dropped back in the pack, we could always get back to the front. So yeah, was not the most intense race in the case of pushing lap times out, but yeah, just swapping around a lot.
Nathan?
Yeah, again, honestly, a brilliant race, of course. Like I said to Duncan, it'll be so stressful on your arms, and I suppose even your legs as well. Use, braking, throttle all the time. But obviously, going into races like this, obviously, it's a little bit less competitive, a little bit more calm than you would in, WR, PSGL. So, in races like this, do you get to learn a little bit more about the game, and you can kind of look at some of those things in a bit more detail?
Well, 100% race is very different to 50%. It's not necessarily that we learn about strategy and things like that, because the tire wear is different, so the strategies change quite a bit. So it's difficult to say, but in the end of the day, yeah, playing the game competitively always is always good. So yeah, perhaps we learn a few things, but strategically we don't really get anything from it. No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's all from me.
Well, I think you absolutely nailed it. You gave the audience such a great show. The chat was going crazy when you were thinking about the sort of last few laps of, what position you wanted to be in, your ERS levels. Like, we were looking at it all. I think you absolutely nailed it. 7 thousandths of a second for this win. You lost out in round 1 by 4 thousandths of a second. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with getting into the last sort of 4 laps in a DRS train of 5 guys, knowing that you're all roughly the same speed at that moment in time, and you need to try and is being in second place better going into the last lap? Is being in third place better? Like, how does that process work, Jarno?
It's difficult to say because obviously there are DRS zones throughout the rest of the lap and in the run up to the line. So yeah, I reckon it's probably better to be in second, but at the same time, there are another 2 DRS zones once you overtake first that the second place is then gonna get. So it's probably always better to be in second going to the last lap, but you can't really, plan that, especially in 100% race, because third place was constantly pushing as well to try and get past. So obviously being in first is better than being in third, but second place is kind of the prime position. But it's very hard to hold on to that when third place, fourth place is constantly pushing to try and get past you.
Yeah, amazing. Nathan, what you think? We also have Ismail Fassi joining us as well, who sadly lost out by that tiniest margin. Ismail, welcome in. Nathan, what you thinking?
Hello.
Hey, Smart. Yet again, brilliance. I mean, unfortunately, you haven't had that much luck this game, and I know you've been, definitely let us know what your thoughts are of the game on Twitter a lot. But of course, either way, it's always brilliant, isn't it? To see a podium, or to see a win. Of course, at the end, Gianna got you by what 7 thousandths at the end. So, I think we could pretty much say that you also won it. It was that close to the line. There was nothing you could have done better towards the end. But going on to that final lap, did you reckon that you could hold Jarno off? Because obviously you got past him into turn 1, and Jarno hasn't really got many opportunities to overtake, has he?
Well, I mean, obviously, as Jarno said, for the last lap you want to be second. So for the last couple of laps, 3-4 laps, I was slowing down the pack. I was building a gap with Jarno because I didn't want the guys behind me to, push me, and being with Jarno as well, three wide into turn 1 and this kind of things. So I was just building a gap with him. In the last sector, I was again pushing, so I could build another gap with the guy behind me. And that's what I did until the last lap, where I went for it. I overtook him, but I knew that he would have another chance on the last sector, which is what happened. I mean, I did my best. He was nearly 3 tenths behind, maybe 3 as well, and he got me by 7,000. So it's what it is what it is. DRS this powerful, but yeah, was a fun race overall.
Yeah, I think you should be extremely proud of yourself. Like, what a great race for us. We had from lap 1 all the way to the end there. We didn't know who was going to win. And you weren't. Yes, it was a DRS train, which sometimes can be boring, but thankfully, you were just sending it every lap and every possible corner that was a sort of legitimate corner. We got so many overtakes. We had so much excitement. Everyone watching, do you enjoy this format where, for instance, you don't have a qualifying, you don't really know what track it is, and you just kind of get sent out to go have some fun? Do you like that? Do you prefer a qualifying, a more structured event? Like, what goes in the mind of Ismail Fassi?
I really like this format, going straight to the race, random. Well, I guess people didn't practice here, so random track and random setup. You just try weird things. We tried weird things as well, and they were working really, really good in sector 2. At least I was really quick there, but then in the slow speed corners was a bit shit, to be honest.
Yes, mate. Let's know. I love it. So cool.
And so yeah, it's funny. 100% race, many overtakes, many chances to try and overtake. I don't know how many people. Rain. Yeah, I like it.
Love it. Nathan, what are you thinking?
Yeah, again, superb. I mean, he's let us know what he thinks, and he told us quite bluntly. I think we can definitely take his word for it. But obviously, going from a different format, obviously 50% to 100%. What is the actual difference like with the tyre wear? Is it actually that much difference in the 50% races?
I really don't know because I didn't practice for this track. So
Yes.
same happened with Hungary. We just at least be pretty much 90% of the we didn't. So yeah, I like it. I enjoy it, even though it's 100% race. So I'm happy. It hurts to lose by 7,000 after 72 laps, but yeah, it's good.
Of course, P2 is good in the end of the day, isn't it?
True.
Hey, exactly. It's better than 10th. So was there any driver that you've noticed that's just like maybe in the amateur division as well that you've just been sort of noticing is giving all you professionals a sort of run for your money? Anyone that you could say a standout character that you've noticed in these long races?
No.
Balance.
Yes!
I don't know.
Yes, you're all in the bin. That's what we're saying, yeah.
Valint was at least. I was in FBR back then. It was my first team, so I kind of, not talk with him, but we are in the same Discord, so we see messages from each other for the team and this kind of stuff. So
love it. Love it. Well, Ishmael, thanks so much for joining us today. Well done. I know seconds, obviously, it's the first loser, but at the end of the day, 7,000ths of a second. It's a blink of an eye at this stage. It's 5% more ERS in your battery. It's the slimmest of margins. So thanks so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you next week, kicking ass again without any practice. I love it, mate. Thank you.
Vamos. Bye.
Bye.
Right, so absolutely, I can't say it, right, because they'll give me into trouble, but they can get away with it, right? Okay. All right.
Exactly, we can't say it. Oh.
Right, final thoughts from yourself, Nathan. First off, how did you find tonight, and also where can we find you in the world if we want to see more of you?
Well, as I said before, all my social medias are different. So you got Twitter, which is Richie F1 with the odds replace with 1. You got TikTok, which is I think Nathan Richards 1. Instagram is Nathan Richards 33. It's all different. I mean, my LinkedIn's Nathan Richards. That's the only one that's the same as the thing. But who cares about LinkedIn? No one.
I don't do that. Nah, absolutely nothing like that. Well, we'll happily get you back as well another time, Nathan, because it's been a wonderful time commentating. Our first time together as well. Had a blast. Thanks for being so cool about it all. It made those laps go by so quickly. I'm Scott Taylor. You can find me everywhere. I am on that or F1 Scott on Twitch as well. I feel like there's nothing more that we can say. What a banging race. We'll be back next week with another 100% race. No qualifying, no practice. Jarno and all the others put all the way to the back again and have to do it all over again. And do you know what? I'm here for another banging night. I hope every single person that's been watching, whether your day's been good or whether your day's been bad, I hope this race gave you that little bit of excitement that you need, brought us closer to this wonderful thing that we call racing. And it's been an absolute pleasure and privilege for me and Nathan to absolutely talk rubbish all night. Can't wait. Nathan, final words?
Thank you, everyone. And we'll be back next week, so keep in tune.
Take care. Adios. Goodbye.